There we go.
Hey guys, let us know if you can hear us okay, because it's always a struggle, you know.
Nothing's ever easy.
It's always a struggle. Like I'm still burning. My butt is burning because yesterday, actually 2 days ago, was it 2 days ago? 3 days ago. I don't know. I've been using a Samsung S22 Galaxy
2 days ago.
and Rode wireless mics, and they connect with a USB-C port. Been using them successfully for 8 months, and in the middle of doing our voiceover and things for our next video, which drops tomorrow, the mic recorded for 7 minutes and then totally dropped out and switched to the phone mic, which had a horrible echo because of all the concrete and tall ceilings these rooms have. And it made like a little static noise, and it has not worked since. You plug it in, and it says external mic being used. Doesn't happen anymore. It's like the external mic is done. Doesn't work anymore. And Rode mics were like the only ones pretty much that worked with this phone. And I know the mics are fine because I actually did a call at work today using the mic, and it works. It's the phone. So I'm not happy. So, hey guys. Hello, you guys. How are you?
Hola.
And hello, Arlene and Annivette. Woohoo! Got me some Jamaica, homemade Jamaica, ready to roll. Right?
Got me some store-bought beer, ready to roll.
Not the beer he wanted.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of easing into it because I'm, like I said, my butt's still burning over the whole mic thing. I kind of feel like if you have $300 mics and a $2,000 phone, this shouldn't happen. But,
Lots of things in life shouldn't happen.
Yeah, I know. It's just it's irritating. You know, you want to try to do a good quality sound for these videos, and now we're kind of like, what are we going to do? I guess we could just use the mic and then export the recording from the mics, but then that means now I got to sync them all up and line them up, and that's extra work. So it just like, it never ends. Hey, hi, Claudia. Thank you.
We're trying something new as far as the lighting. So
yes,
after last week when we were so blown out, I was like, no, we got to come up with a solution. So we think we have a solution. We're going to see if it works tonight.
Hi, Debbie. I'm so glad you got the notification. I'm still struggling because we are 1 hour earlier in Mexico on Central Time. Oh, buenas noches. Gracias.
I'll be back.
That our guys who clean our pool once a week are just leaving. They come in on Wednesdays. They're a little late today. So, yeah. So anyway, he's coming back. We're rolling up with it. So whenever I go to schedule these things, it gets very, very confusing because my work laptop is on Central Time Zone USA. My home laptop is on Central Time Zone Mexico. Sometimes YouTube, I don't know how they figured this out. Sometimes YouTube is showing me current time Central USA. Sometimes StreamYard is showing me current time Mexico. And I think sometimes it depends probably on whether I have my VPN turned on. It's a confusing mess. So until they get the time zones synced up again.
But our goal is always going to be now try and give you guys at least 2 days notice before we drop the thumbnail and everything else.
I know. Hey, hola, Elsa. Thank you for joining us today. And thank you, Debbie. Thank you. This is supposed to be purple, by the way, for some reason. And I lifted color and it did not dye purple. The only purple that's there is like right there. So I'm going to try this piece one more time. He doesn't have that issue. I could dye this purple and then he would match me. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you. Yes, I like my haircut like this.
Yeah.
He got a haircut too. Give him some compliments.
I got all three of them cut.
Thank you,
Yep.
Annie. Thank you. We loved your Jamaica. Yes, it's pretty good, right? So the people that manage this Airbnb property, they hired a new person to do the cleaning. And they sent her out for a trial run last week because we said, yeah, we'll have someone. If you got somebody, send them out twice a month. So she came and she had my Jamaica too. Boy, she was loving it.
I guess that's the
Yeah,
thumbs up.
that's the thumbs up. If somebody authentically from Mexico says they like your Jamaica, you must be doing it good. Buenas noches to William. Hi, thank you for joining us today. And everyone hit the like. Hey, Mark and Paulette. ¿Qué tal?
Greetings to San Luis Potosí.
Yes. And Jenny. Hola from Hidalgo. Hola. Empty nesters. Thank you. Thank you. Goodness. Oh, gosh. Thank you, guys. It's going to be the Gina Hair Show.
Well, it damn sure ain't gonna be the Mark Hair Show.
You have your lives on
It'd be a
calendar.
real short show.
Our lives are on calendar.
I'm glad somebody's got our lives on
I
calendar.
can't keep a calendar straight on what we're doing. It's terrible. Yes, the time difference is driving us nuts. I just wish, oh man, it's just one of those things. I got to leave your baggage at the border thing. But
Yep.
boy, I wish they would get that daylight savings thing figured out. Just stop doing it. Just stop, please.
So now that we got all the OLAs,
All the OLAs are out. So
this week we are going to talk, because we got a fair number of questions about how we choose the cities we're going to and how we select our Airbnbs. And if I'm a little goofy tonight, I just got hearing aids today, so I'm echoing.
show your hearing.
I'm echoing in my own head, which there's enough things going on in that
He
head.
can hear.
It's a wonderful thing. And then a couple people actually want to know how we selected the auto moteles. So we're going to cover those three things and the two passe, the passe.
Pass it. Yeah.
So
So cities. Okay, so I guess we'll just say cities that we started looking at initially, honestly, were the ones that people talked about the most. So if we were watching YouTube or reading an article about somebody who does a blog or something, and they would mention where there were large expat communities or no,
where they were living,
that made it on our list initially right away. That was the initial.
Well, that was how Querétaro got on there. It seemed like half the YouTubers we watched were from Querétaro.
Yeah.
And then
That's how you get the whole lakeside community, the San Miguel community, the Merida community.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Huatuco.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
Huatuco was not even on our radar when we were doing the
No.
original planning. And then we found a couple of YouTubers in Huatuco, started paying attention to what they were saying, and suddenly, oh, we got to go try Huatuco. And then when we started looking around and expanding, then it was like, oh, well, if we're going to go there, might as well go to Puerto Escondido.
Yep.
You know, then, you know, I think it was why not now? With all right, we're going to Oaxaca.
Yeah.
So,
Aguas Calientes.
you know, and then hitting higher up on the West Coast with Sean in Paradise, and you know, so all of these cities, a lot of them came about because of other YouTubers. And then when we started doing the research and filling in the spreadsheet,
The
spreadsheet, that was when we started. There was actually, I'm not going to name any names. There was a couple cities we looked at and went, not feeling it. You know,
That's for you. I'm sure that's Mark. Mark with
the
a
one who
C.
can't spell his name.
The Mark with a C.
Yeah.
Yes. That's funny. So, hey, Claude. Hola from Houston. Thank you for joining us tonight.
So that's how we came up with the list. And then there were some things like San Luis Potosi was a spur of the moment decision due to increased activity that was not good in the Leon area from what we were hearing, and the thought of driving from SMA over to Guanajuato City. So we substituted San Luis Potosi in for Guanajuato City, and we're hoping to hit Guanajuato City when we come back around. So
And it's kind of like one of those where we were looking at all these places that we heard about. And we heard about these places mostly from other YouTubers. And then as we looked at the map and as we started to do statistical research, we were looking at things like the weather, the elevation, the terrain,
international airports, hospitals,
Right.
walkability,
crime statistics, natural disaster statistics.
Yes.
I mean, all these things started playing in, and the spreadsheet just grew and grew and grew and grew. And then we started, we narrowed down the things that met our minimal criteria. And we had things that if there was too much crime of a certain type, we weren't even going to go there. Just saying. And then we took that list and laid it out and looked at a map. And we basically said, okay, we've got 4 years. How are we going to track this out?
And that really was 3 days worth of an effort to try and actually do the mapping, to try and determine exactly where to go. And then you throw in the stipulation that we wanted to be in places at their worst.
Oh, yeah.
We wanted to be here in Merida during the heat of the summer. We wanted to feel how bad and how hot and humid it really gets, because if we can deal with it during this time of year, then we should be golden when it's a little bit cooler. And then conversely, in the winter, we want to do that, in the higher elevations, just to see what that was like.
Hey guys, Sir Dragon X is here.
Hola, Arnie.
Hello. Very nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in.
So that was, putting in where we wanted to be, when we wanted to be there. It literally did take us 3 days of moving things around and adjusting, and then trying to keep them a minimum number, because we don't know when she was going to be working and everything else. We tried to do everything on the weekends. And then so we were trying to minimize the number of overnight drives, and then minimize the time on the road to no more than 7 hours at a time. There were a lot of balls that were being juggled in the air trying to keep all that going. So, but we did finally work it out, and it's still being massaged a little bit, because there's some things we have learned that we go, we're not doing 3 1-month stays again. Nope.
Well, yeah, it's a little stressful.
Yeah.
1 month stays, you drop in, you don't even unpack, and then you pretty much are packing up and you're on your way again. And when you can only go out and do things on a weekend, well, that pretty much only leaves you 3 weekends to do things with. And I want, at the very least, in each place that we go, I want to go out. I want to see the Centro area. I want to see something cultural. And I would like to, if at all possible, head out and see some Pueblo Mágicos in the area.
Yep.
So it's hard when it's a 1 month stay. So we've kind of learned that it's got to be 2 month minimum.
Well, or some places we know are going to be 1, because there's not a whole lot in that area or something, but 3 1-monthers in a row, it took a toll. It just felt like we were on the go. We
were a little wiped out.
So,
and that's literally how we do it. Honestly, it was word of mouth, other YouTubers, and then things along the way in between locations, maybe.
And then for the Airbnbs, we have a list of criteria that is non-negotiable. I mean,
number 1,
got to have a place to park the car off street.
Off-street parking, absolute must.
Yep.
Number 2,
got to have a minimum of a queen size bed.
I'm sorry, he's a bed hog. It's me, him, and a body pillow. So it's got to be at least a queen size bed.
Well, I got to have enough room so I can read my Kindle too.
That's true. Or he'll prop his Kindle up on top of me.
Yes.
So, yeah, the queen size bed is an absolute minimum. King is preferable.
Mhm.
Can we tell you just how hard it is in some locations to find anything
Well,
bigger than a double?
that's why we ended up where we were in Valladolid, because
Yeah.
the third one is it has to have good internet
Yeah.
because she's working, and that's really probably up there at number one. But so the internet has to be good.
Or at least clearance that we can put a dish on the roof or something.
Yeah, if we had access to the roof, then we can put the dish up
For the
for the
Starlink.
Starlink. What else?
I mean, those are the big three: off-street parking, the bed, and the internet. Now, other things that we have since learned that we're going to pay a little more attention to.
Location.
Location is important because we want to be able to at least mingle and walk around in the community, not drive everywhere. Driving everywhere is you're isolating yourself, and you're not really adapting and integrating that much because you're
No.
driving. You're driving to the store, you're driving to the mall, you're driving to go out and eat. It's like, I'd rather walk, take a taxi or whatever.
Yep.
So that was definitely a difference. Hot water, pay more attention to who has the hot water. Although,
Even if it's listed,
even if it
may
was
not
listed,
be.
it may not have hot water.
Yes, we found that out. The only time it got warm was in the late afternoon when it's been beaten by the sun all day in the Tanaco.
And what floor is it on?
Oh yeah.
And if it's a walk up, how many floors? And if it's got an elevator, that's a little easier, but
Two max
yeah.
for the walk up.
No more fourth floor.
No,
That's
No.
not gonna happen again.
no. But those are the things that we put into creating our Airbnbs. And what we normally do is I normally do the pre-work and go into a city and narrow it down to hopefully 10 or 20 choices, so that she's not having to go through all of them and go
Hours and hours and hours.
I've
Yeah.
already done all that pre-work. So if she's working and I'm trying to find us a place to live on Airbnb, and then it's okay, create the wish list and put it in there for this particular location, open it up, and away we go through them one at a time. And she'll look at something and go, I'm not feeling that one. And every once in a while I'll throw one in there that's maybe above the price that we wanted to.
Lately, that's been often.
And maybe that's been often. And it just sort of goes, yeah, let's stay there. I mean, that was El Tejar. I mean, that's
Yeah.
we had 15 or 20 apartments in Boca del Rio, but we kept going back to, God, that house out on the river in El Tejar. So
Yeah, that was an anomaly.
yeah, and Valladolid, we really ended up with two, and one went off the market because somebody had rented part of for part of the stay, so it was off the market. So we had one, Casa Isabel, which
For all intents and purposes, that was a great Airbnb, honestly.
paid more than what we probably should have.
It was just overpriced.
Yeah.
It honestly was really overpriced for what we
Mhm.
got. It wasn't worth, I don't remember, I think it was $2,500 a month. It wasn't worth $2,500 a month, but it was in a fantastic location. It was walkable to everything. And maybe that's what drove that price.
And quite honestly, they're probably getting it because they're getting people who are not staying there for a month. They're getting
Right.
people who are coming in for 3-4 days, maybe a
I
week.
think it runs $88 a night if you do it on a nightly or weekly basis.
And quite honestly, that's, if we were only going to be there for a week and not working and spending the whole week seeing, that would have been the perfect location
Yeah.
to branch out from.
Yeah. Like we were doing long-term stay, and this particular place isn't generally used for long-term stay. So they don't need anything but a fancy little camper cooktop thing. And they may not have to worry too much about the hot water issue. Everything else about the place was actually really nice, with the exception of the missing toilet seat. Which, look, I don't know. Does anybody know why this is such a thing in Mexico? I just don't get it. There's a lot of public bathrooms that have no toilet
I
seats.
didn't have any problem getting yelled at, seat up.
Well, no, you didn't.
I was
But
like,
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Why would you not have a toilet seat in the Airbnb? I don't
that's
understand.
interesting.
It's a
But,
thing. It's a thing.
well, and the same thing can be said with the quality of furniture.
Yeah, what is it with the futons, guys? Futons. A lot of these Airbnbs have futons for a sofa. Now, I get it if you think you're going to use that futon as an extra bed, but this Airbnb had a limit of 2 people with 1 bedroom,
Yep.
and it was a king bed. So unless I was kicking him out onto the futon,
And,
why would you have a futon for a sofa?
I will say that bed was comfortable.
Yeah, it was nice. That was
So,
good.
And the third thing that we got questions about was, how is it that I come up and choose the Auto Motels?
Oh yeah.
And somehow they all know it was my choice. I don't know how, but somebody was like, yeah, how do you choose? There is a site. We will put the link down below. It is called hotelesdemexico.com.
Oh, I got to figure out how to do this. Hold on.
And
I'll type that while you talk.
what it is Hoteles de
No, go ahead, Tom.
What I do is you go in there, and that's not it. That's not it. It's all one word, hotelesdemexico.com.
Okay, you can talk.
Okay,
You can talk.
so what it does when you go in there, the first thing that it will do is when you open it up, it actually breaks down the sites by state. And so you're able to go in and select what state that you want to stay in. Like our very first one that we did when Sir Dragon X, Ernie was nice enough to guide us across the border, was we went to Monterrey. And so I typed in Nuevo Leon, I need motels.
Mm-hmm.
And so it could be .mx too. And then we went and I pulled it up and went to Monterrey. And in Monterrey, it lists all of the auto motels that are in, there it is. It's all the ones that are in there inside Monterrey. And
He can't talk and read at the same time.
and there's a lot of people, people getting busy in Monterrey because there's an awful lot of auto motels, let me tell you. But so then what I do is I open it up in Monterrey, and I always start from, there you go, baby. I always start from the highest priced. None of them are expensive. And the most we have paid was 1,000 pesos for a night, and that was in Monterrey. Everything else has been 700 pesos for an evening, give or take. No, Querétaro was almost 1,000. But so I start with the high priced ones and open it. And then when it pops up and it opens, it gives you a little rundown of what they offer. And then down on about halfway down on the left-hand side, it actually has the Google map and gives you the location. And as well as location, it also gives you the reviews. And so what I do from that is I select the reviews and then read how the reviews are. And they're pretty good about being able to go, you know what? I look at it this way. If the locals don't like it, we probably are definitely not going to like it. So if it gets good reviews and everything else, then we should be golden. We choose it. And what I did was put together, when we drove down, I actually made a list of the top 3 or 4 in each of the locations that we were going to spend the night in, both Aguas Calientes and Monterrey. And the Kyoto one, see, now we got adjustable lighting now. Now we're just rocking with the big stuff. And so selecting them and looking at the price and getting all that. And so far, we have not hit a place yet that we've had any issue with the car being able to fit in. Matter of fact, most of them have been very deep. And we've got a roof bag on top of our full-size SUV, and we've been able to fit in with no problems whatsoever. And the other thing that I do look for, I go through all the pictures, and I make sure that it does have a physical door, because some of the places
On the garage.
yes, on the garage itself, some of the places actually have curtains. And sorry, our entire life is in that car, and
Yeah.
we're not unpacking except for whatever we need for that night. So we do get one that has a physical door, and most of them are right below us. So you can hear if the door goes up, because some of them use that door actually to deliver if you're getting room service, or you're having beverages brought over, or if you're getting something else off the menu, deliver whatever. And then they use the
rotisserie.
the hidden lazy Susan, so you don't have to really change into anything to answer or get anything. So
I'm going to get back to the questions real quick because we're getting
Okay.
piling up, and then when we're done with questions, I'm going to talk a little bit about passe and give you guys some idea about that. Which, of course, Sir Dragon X has an awesome video on that on his channel as well,
Yes.
which is Retired Life in Mexico, No Bull.
and he was the one that we got across the border, stopped us at the OXXO right by the first place, and was like, boom.
So Sandy would like to know. Hello, Sandy. Thank you for joining us. How do you like Merida? Curious to know how much we like it. Well, Sandy, I like it. It is hot. It is muggy as all get out. There is a major heavy rainstorm just about every single afternoon at this time of the year around 5
Well,
o'clock.
between 4:30 and 5, it decides that I can't hold anymore. The air just goes, I'm done.
Yeah, and then it
boom.
gets really cool real fast.
And then it gets really
And
humid.
then it gets really humid again. But we are in a restored colonial home, minimum 200 years old. I certainly think it's older than that. We're trying to find out from the owners or the previous owners if they could give us a little history about this place, because it has got such character. It's got like the 15-foot tall ceilings and like the 12-foot tall doors, and it actually stays surprisingly cool if we run one air conditioner in one bedroom and use a fan to blow out the air into the rest of the main living space.
And then we closed off the 2 extra bedrooms because we don't use them. So
we are literally in the very first Pueblo barrio that's existed in Merida. It's
one of 8 in the country.
I think there was already 8. And this would be like the 9th, but it's the first one in Merida. And it's La Ermita, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
And I want to say 3 blocks, one direction is
3 blocks west
San
is
Sebastian.
San Sebastian, and then 2
Like
blocks
2 blocks
south is La Ermita.
Ermita, yeah. And then 4 blocks the other way is the gate of San Juan and Parque San Juan. And then like another
2 blocks after
3 blocks is the main.
No, 2 blocks from the gate.
2 blocks. It's like the main plaza and Jardín in Central Merida. So we're really close to everything. We can easily walk. If we wanted to, we could walk to that cemetery that's on the way to the airport. It's only like a mile from us. And we did go there too. Boy, that was interesting. But we're in a great location. Now, driving wise, I don't feel like the traffic is bad.
No.
We just went to that Mayan World Museum just over the weekend. It was an easy drive. It's out near the Costco. We passed a Walmart, I think, along the way. There's a lot of places I want to go to. We did go down, is it Paseo de Montejo? Is that the right words?
Oh,
It's the famous boulevard that has all the big mansions on it. And it's not that far either.
I didn't realize there was a test coming on this.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember right now what it's called exactly because, we have been here for 3 weeks, but we've only gone out.
Or 2.5, and one weekend we
2
had Annie
weekends,
Vet
yeah.
and Arlene here, which thank you for visiting us. And then last weekend we did the Mayan Museum and
But I
had
like
to get
it.
haircuts. And
I like it. I know that a lot of expats live in communities that are in North Merida. We really haven't spent a lot of time in that area yet, but I've seen a lot of developments, newer type builds. The appeal of Merida to me are the colonial buildings. If I was going to live here, and if we could afford it, I would love to have a colonial home.
And there are plenty for sale.
And there are a lot for sale.
And a lot of them need a little TLC,
Yeah.
and a lot of them need a lot of TLC.
Yeah.
But there are plenty in this. We've walked this barrio, and there are plenty available.
Yeah, I don't know how expensive they are to buy, and I really don't know how expensive they are to restore. But
Or how long it would take.
or how long that would take, exactly. But I do like it here.
Yes.
I have to admit, even with the sticky humidity, I can understand the appeal.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. And okay, we're saying hello to everybody that
They're
we
having
know.
chats amongst themselves.
Hello, Frederick from Boston. How do we handle finances? Do we wire money from U.S. banks, use ATMs for cash, have a Mexican bank, and can you touch on healthcare? Okay. Well, I handle the money.
Yeah. Found that out today. Well,
Yeah,
no, I didn't
I
find
handle
that
the
out
money.
today. I've known that.
No, we do not have a Mexican account. It's really difficult for us to get them because we're temporary residents.
And we don't have really a permanent address.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
So we're just going to keep what we have, and what we're using is an investor checking account through Charles Schwab. We do use ATMs to get cash out. Typically, we can get about 9,000 pesos on a given day, each of us, if we had to. And that comes with refundable ATM fees and no international charges for purchases. So
and interest on what's in your
yeah,
checking
and you
account.
get interest on your checking if you have enough in there. So that's Charles Schwab. We also use Capital One credit card for charge purchases, and there are no international transaction fees on that. So no, our banking is solely in the United States. I get paid, he gets paid, everything's going to a U.S. account. Let me see about other ways that we can use cash. So today, Mark got hearing aids and used all of his cash to pay them and still needed an additional 19,000 pesos. Well, I have a Wise account that I had 6,000 pesos in, just kind of sitting around, because for some reason I could never get the Mexican Starbucks card to accept my Wise card number. So it was just sitting in there. And I was able to get the banking information from the audiologist. And I was actually able to enter that information in Wise and instantly transfer the money over to her. And then I had to go back into Wise and transfer more money from my US account into Wise to transfer the remaining balance of 13,000 pesos to her. It took
30 minutes.
About 30 minutes in total, mostly because they wanted to verify my identity. So I had to upload my driver's license and my selfie photo. And then it takes a little time for them to clear the transfer from your bank to the Wise account. But the transfer to her account was instant. Yeah, it was quick.
Yeah, it was quick. I mean, they went, oh, you can go.
So
they were holding me hostage.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the first time I actually used Wise in that manner, and I had wondered how that worked. You can't use Venmo. Venmo does not work internationally for a lot of countries outside of the U.S. I don't know how PayPal works.
PayPal is
internationally
in Mexico. It is.
Okay, but So there it is. That's our banking. Basically, regular credit cards, a U.S. bank account with Charles Schwab, and I use the Wise account if I need to pay in pesos.
And we do carry a fair amount of pesos around because it is such a cash-driven society. You know, I mean, I had 15,000 pesos on me today, and now I don't.
And then as far as healthcare, we have not sat with a broker yet. We are aware that the older you get, the more expensive the insurance gets. And we're also aware that you pretty much have to have your insurance purchased prior to a certain age, something I think like 70 or something like that, or you can't even get it, I think. And I could be wrong on those details. Let me just say that because we haven't sat with a broker yet and gotten those hard numbers yet. But in the interim, until we had that opportunity, I purchased Nomad insurance through Safety Wing. And it was a very affordable option. And it's like a glorified traveler's insurance plan. When I was looking at traveler's insurance as a possible option to cover us, the longer the period that you need to be covered, the more crazy the premium got. It was just insane.
Yeah.
Whereas Safety Wing gives you a traveler's insurance type policy that you can have for up to a year at the quoted price, which again is based on your age. And then when that policy window is closed, then you renew the policy, but it's going to be at a different rate because you are a year older now. So that's what we currently have.
About what?
It's $273 that covers both of us. His part costs a little bit more than mine because he's older. But it's mostly a catastrophic plan, and then we're paying out of pocket for anything immediate, which has not amounted to a lot.
No, I mean
until today.
And basically, you can equate it to what you get on a travel insurance plan. I mean, that's
pretty much.
You know, if for some reason you need to be transported back to the U.S., that would be covered. Something catastrophic, that would be covered. You know, if you got a hangnail, that's on you. Yeah.
And like the most expensive purchase that we had to make that was not going to be covered by insurance anyway was his hearing aids today. But hearing aids can run thousands of dollars in the United States.
Well, my mom said that she spent $3,000 a year on hers, so we came out way ahead.
Yeah, his hearing aids cost about what?
$1,000 a piece, 17,000 pesos a piece.
Almost a third.
Yeah. I mean, when first she said it was 1,700 pesos, and I whipped out 3,500 and was going, what a deal. No.
But for the health
decimal
care,
point was in the wrong spot.
For the healthcare, I would strongly recommend that you really speak to a professional on that who actually knows what they're talking about, because we could wax poetic all evening long about what we think we know, but it's better to talk to a pro.
A great resource to find that out is the Mexico relocation guide, because Mariana does have all that. She has vetted them all and everything else. So that's a great resource. If you're looking for answers about that, I know that she has done some videos with some people about that. I think that Brighton has done some videos on that. And I think Ernie has done some videos on that as well. So
hey, look, I know this is a little late, but hey, nice beard too, honey.
I love the stash.
Yeah, thank you.
Rocking that stash.
He's working that. Oh no, Mima, you want to get out of California? I can't imagine why. I wish we could help you. Hello, hola, Glenn Ford.
Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you so much for the compliment. We appreciate it, and we're glad to see that you're here tonight. So William, it sure would be nice to be able to choose a king bed on Airbnb sites. It would be nice to choose any bed size.
The only thing that you are able, and I'm sure that you're aware of this, William, is that the only thing you're able to choose is number of bedrooms, not the size of the beds in there.
Right.
And you can choose the Wi-Fi, and you can choose the off-street parking. So those two, we can at least narrow them down. But the beds, I mean, I can't count the number of ones I've gone through that don't even include a bed size when they list the listing, because a lot of them say where you'll sleep, and then down below they'll have those two. But then
Sometimes they don't.
nope, and you got to go through the pictures, and you go,
There ain't no way that's, yeah. But see, look,
Nope.
Mark with a C, king bed. Gotta have a king bed.
See,
And see, and Mark, you're tall. So that might be playing into it as well, I think.
well, king with a K.
I'm not a C.
I'm just saying.
Are the Mexicans speaking mostly Spanish? Well, hola, DR. Thank you for joining us. That's a good question. So
Well,
most of the time, yes.
yes, and we actually appreciate that because our Spanish does not get any better.
If we're in a place where there is English spoken because there's a large expat community, or just because we're in an area, a lot of places in the Yucatan will teach 3 languages to their children. In school, they'll teach Mayan, Spanish, and English.
And we actually did find out while we were in Valladolid that they start out in kindergarten teaching Mayan, and then they progress to Spanish, and then they progress to English. But they start out now with Mayan in the Valladolid area,
which is nice because that language was almost eradicated at one point.
Yep.
So, so if they feel that we're struggling and we're in a location where they can speak some English, they will to help us, which is appreciated. But
I mean, in 2 instances, I went and bought shoes, and the guy, we were struggling, para correr, no, caminar, solo caminar, only walking. I ain't running anywhere. And then he goes, would English help?
it would.
Yes, it would. Just,
it is when we're talking about shoes.
And then today at the audiologist, they actually had a young lady in there who was translating back and forth. So
awesome.
Yes.
No, because it's hard. Medical would be very difficult.
That had me a little concerned, because I'm going, okay, hold on, this is something. We're not talking about just
groceries,
$100. We're talking, this is a major expenditure, and we want to make sure it works right. So
right. But I would say in places where we were a little more remote, like El Tejar in Veracruz, Spanish everywhere we went. We were lucky that the property manager spoke about as much English as he speaks Spanish.
We had some great conversations, and they were really interesting to hear, especially after numerous surveys that really got half Spanish, half English, and Papacito got through it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hola, Alfredo. Oric, Montana, Missouri. Sorry, Montana's MT, right? I'm always really bad with those MO type states. Missouri. That's
the modus operandi.
It is?
MO.
I see.
Yeah.
Sunburn on your chest.
Nope. They ain't sunburn on me.
No, I think it's just the lighting. Do we need to turn it down some more?
I am.
I think it's as low as it'll go.
Yeah, I am tan.
He's very tan.
No lines. Leave it at that.
It might also be the brightness on my display on my monitor. I could turn that down too.
Could be.
Blue Butterfly Travels. Oh, hola. Okay, so Dawn and Chris from Pátzcuaro. Okay. And you're working and traveling in your RV. Now that sounds exciting, I think, although very tight and small living quarters. So I hope that you're enjoying it. That does sound exciting though. And you can just move around and that just really, I like that.
Yeah, but I think that we work better with a little space. I'm saying you're working. You don't need me bothering you. Sitting over there doing my stuff, and you're going, I'm on a conference call here.
Cielo, where is Cielo? She was just here a little bit ago.
Yeah.
She is a baby.
She wanted food again.
Okay, so Paulette wants to know if you got the hearing aids at Costco or somewhere else.
No, I actually got them at a local audiologist that was only 6 blocks down the road, but I walked 11 because I thought I had the address in my head right. Got to the corner and they weren't there. Then I pulled the picture up on my phone and went, oh, they're at Calle 61, not Calle 51.
There's a reason that I'm an IT person and he is not. And the
Yeah, but
thought of using Google Maps to help you get where you need to be just seemed to like not.
I'm the human GPS. I normally don't make those mistakes. And you can count on the one hand how many times I've made a mistake like that. So.
Because the other hand was amputated?
No, because the other hand was scratching my head going, how do you make a dumbass move like that?
Oh, the toilet seat is sold separately. Isn't it like that in the United States too, though, when you buy a toilet?
Uh-uh.
No? Okay,
No,
so
it comes with.
you can save some money. Okay. Well,
I seriously thought about possibly buying one, but then there's no more room in the car. So
I'm like sitting there going, yeah, but if it's like $5 or $10, I'd buy one and just leave it there. Just saying.
we did the same thing with the topper on the mattress. So
That's true too.
because it was worth every penny
Of $100.
of $100 for me to get a good night's sleep because I was not getting it before. So.
No. Okay, and you saw that a lot in Mexico too, and the small amount of paper you get. Like, yes, thank you. Man, if you got a number 2, those 2 squares of toilet paper are not going to work. It reminds me of Seinfeld. I cannot spare a square. I'm telling you.
Now, the hardest part though is getting used to the fact that when you see the big roll outside,
Yes.
get it before you go in.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you get in there and you're in a rush and all of a sudden you've got to do what you've got to do and you go,
There's no toilet paper.
oh, no, now what? I mean, it's, so getting used to paying attention to what look around.
Look, 5 squares. Man, that's a luxury.
Yeah, there's been a couple places 5 squares would have been like, yeah.
So my travel tip as a lady is I carry baby butt wipes in my purse. Always. And I keep a pack in the bathroom. There is nothing better than a nice, moist towelette.
Isn't there also some in
to
the
just
car?
clean that mess up. There's some in the purse. There's a package in every bathroom in every house we go and live in.
Well, I mean, and that's,
always fresh and clean. Always.
Hey, that was a staple in the golf bag. I mean, I'm sorry, you always in a Ziploc bag, toilet paper.
Okay, so yes, your beagle knows about those auto hoteles. You know what? I think they're awesome. We have not had a bad one yet.
Nope.
Now, some of them had interesting pieces of furniture, as you know, but I would say that was only half of them. Half of the ones we've stayed did not have anything like that.
The one in Querétaro might as well have been a hotel room.
Yeah.
I mean, because there was nothing.
And then that last one we stayed in, again, just the hotel room. Aside from the rotisserie in the wall.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. How do you like all the dances and entertainment? Well, let me tell you. So, San Sebastian had, and I wish I could tell you the exact name of it, but if you look at Yucatan Times and you look this up because they've been doing stories about it lately, San Sebastian just celebrated the 100th year of a feria that they have. And this was big because it was year 100. They had bottle rockets and firecrackers going off every day for 2 weeks. We have had a parade with drummers and brass marching by at least twice a week for the last 3 weeks. Yesterday, I think, was the final day, and they wrapped it up. And we not only got a morning parade, but we got an evening parade too. And it was literally going right past our front door. So I had a really good spot. I got all excited the first time, and it was the middle of the day, and the sun was hot. And we have black metal stairs going up to the roof. And I'm like, I'm going to go up to the roof and see if I can see this. The black metal stairs were so hot that I set my feet on fire, like hobbled all the way up, hobbled all the way back down when I couldn't get right. And I was afraid I was going to get blisters. I didn't.
She went up. I went inside to go grab my sandals so she could wear my sandals. She's like, "Oh, I don't need them." Then she said, "Oh."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
okay.
I'm used to running around barefoot. When I was a kid, I used to play kickball on blacktop barefoot. But I guess I'm not a kid anymore, huh?
You think?
Yeah, I guess not. I can act like I'm a kid.
Well,
But the let's see, we went the first time we went into Centro on a weekend night. I want to say it was a Saturday night. There was a concert, a band performing.
no, that was
Well,
Sunday
they
night.
were up
Sunday
on-
night, we went in there
There was
and
an elevated stage, and there was a whole bunch of people there. They were
they had a
checking it
band
out.
playing and they had a boatload of people that were dancing.
This feria that was down the street, of course, they had rides and they had games. We haven't seen another dance yet, but I am aware that there is dancing. I think it takes place, I want to say Fridays in Centro. We haven't had a chance to see that yet.
Nope.
But my intention is to just go to get out on weekday nights because I typically don't get a chance to do that because of work. But if I can get out really quickly on weekday nights, even if it's just to go get some drone footage, I want to do that. My problem, I've tried to fly a drone from the roof, which is typically my mode. And I'm finding that there are towers, RF towers, something. It interferes with the signal and it causes a disconnect.
And we're also within the port.
Yeah, but
Because
it's
we
the
are-
towers,
we
it's
are-
these towers. Uh-oh, looks like we went away for a minute. Okay, so that's it for the entertainment so far. I did find out they do a digital mapping show on the side of the Parroquia in Centro, and I couldn't understand. So, and Arlene, those bleachers that Annie Vet and I saw, those bleachers are there because they have a digital mapping show, and those bleachers get filled up by spectators. And that's what that was all about. Hello. 60. Hola. Thank you for joining us tonight. And hola, Guadalupe. All right. So I think you're missing a lot of dances and entertainment in the parks. Oh, yes. No, I agree.
We got 2.5 more months.
Yeah, I agree. We haven't been here long enough to really get out that far. We have hit, let's see, Sebastian, Ermita, One, Centro, and then there was another park. I can't think of it right now.
Oh,
We've
the one
only-
with the
but we've
grand,
only
the
been-
one with the Grand Hotel and the Porta Johns with 15,000 flies. Just saying,
I
if you
wanna
walk,
say
if
it's-
you walk into those Porta Johns there
I
at
think
that
it
little
was
park,
Parque Hidalgo, I think.
I don't know.
Anyway, we've only been to 5, and there's so many, and
Mhm.
and depending on what night of the week that we hit them, they may not be doing something that particular night. So trying to get a schedule pulled together to see when things happen and when, and then I want to get out and go experience all that because I am very much into the local culture and the dancing, and just seeing
And
people out and about.
Sandy, that is Safety Wing.
Oh yeah.
The name of the,
And we do have a Wise card, so
Uh-huh.
yes, we used it to pay for his hearing aids.
the one, yep.
And the Nomad Insurance, yes, it is Safety Wing. I will give you a link. Let me grab it real quick. See.
I'm glad she's grabbing it now and doesn't expect me to talk because this throws me off every
Well,
time we do
you know.
this.
It's just really, I think it's a really good plan to have when
No,
you're
it's-
just not ready yet you just haven't had the time, or you don't have, you're not really wanting to commit to seeing a broker just yet. Let me find all right, I'm going to post this for you so you can see it. Edit. And it is called Safety Wing Nomad Insurance. They also have other plans. Oh Lord, that's not going to show it all.
No, that's going to show us.
Yeah.
It's safetywing.com.
I'm taking this back.
There you go.
But if you were That's the name of the website. But if you go to one of our videos, we actually do have a referral link underneath our video, and they throw a little bit of like extra coverage or something toward us whenever we get a referral. So if you're interested in that, you'll find that link underneath one of our other videos. Pretty much any of our other videos. All right, back to the comments. So I don't want to see. I'm missing.
And hola, Lorenzo.
Lorenzo.
Hola, Angie.
Hola, Lorenzo. From Chicago. Angie, nice to see you back, Angie. And let's see, what am I missing here? Okay. Oh, Lord. It's
some of us got rid of a lot more than others.
We had to get a storage unit. It's not that big of a storage unit. It's like a 5x15. The maybe half of what's in that storage unit is my personal collection of 1,400 vinyl records.
Well, I did contribute to that.
You contributed like 50
Whoa,
of the 1,400. It also has my restored pre-1970 stereo console, which, if you know, that's a big hunk of space eating furniture, really. And then my other stereo setup that I normally would play on, it's got 2 guitars in it, also mine.
3.
Oh, that's right, 3. Thank you. Sorry.
I put all of them in there. I know.
2 acoustics. There's a 6-string, a 12-string acoustic, and then there is an electric. A moment of drunkenness at a concert because it was autographed by Paul Rogers of Bad Company. And that's another story. But that's a bulk of the stuff right there. And that's my stuff. And then there's the genealogy records.
Then there's the
I'm
work
a
desk.
genealogist.
Then there's the
my
work
work desk and my work chair. I have an adjustable desk and chair. And all the genealogy records. And then we have 1 coffee table. We kept the 1 table because it would fit into any decor in Mexico. It is literally a hand-carved wooden table with the storage, because it has these hinged leaves that lift up and you can store things, and there's drawers. So that was it. Miscellaneous small things in a few boxes. Photographs.
Yep.
Most of that stuff, though, is mine. And it was hard. And I downsized. I think I had 7 downsizes before, literally. Yeah, it was not easy.
I kept going.
It ain't gonna
fit.
And I was like, yeah, well.
It will. Ain't gonna fit.
No.
Yeah.
Some of this was hard. I tried to give some things away to our kids. I had one of the biggest, most grandest Halloween displays in the neighborhood, with several animatronics.
We were in that house.
With the projector that has it projects ghosts on a screen that you can't see, so they look like they're floating, all of that stuff. And my kids love Halloween too, but neither of them had any place to store any of it. So it got sold.
And if you're looking at doing the downsizing before coming, the first thing you want to get rid of is any type of media. Books, CDs, movies, games. We had an estate sale, and they moved a lot of stuff. They really did. And the biggest thing is that media.
Yeah.
Nope.
So that was something. It's hard. I'm just going to say I'm very emotionally attached to some of my things. And
it's
it was
easier
really hard
for some than for others.
Yeah.
And if you have one of those who is able to, like Mark with a C and Mark with a K, who are able to sort of go, it's only stuff. If you can get it through your head and trust them enough, it'll all be gone quickly.
Yes. I'm actually looking to see if I can get something to change the display on here, because I think the screen is starting to blow us out. Oh, that's better. Okay. So,
are we too dark?
I don't know. Do we look too dark to you guys?
Because I can turn the lighting up.
How's that? Trying to.
Well, I'm still in the dark, but that's nothing
Okay.
new.
All right.
Um,
So I don't know why this is still doing this. Get out of their safety lane. All right, let me go back and take that safety.
Hola,
lane.
Sandra and Juan from Houston.
Am I losing things? I'm losing it again.
Oh,
So,
but I'm now at your mercy.
oh
I
no,
can't see
listening
it.
to the live chat a few days ago. Gosh, I hope we didn't bore you guys to death because sometimes we just talk and talk and talk and talk.
We can do that.
We do. Has your computer gone back to the right computer radio station?
You damn Skippy, it did. I had to have a long talk with it, and it got the message.
You know how everything is listening to you, right? Your phone's listening to you, your computer's listening to you. There are programs that are eavesdropping on you. This is no conspiracy theory. It's a fact. Because we could talk about something, and 2 hours later, I'll be on Facebook, and it'll be advertising on the sidebar, and I'm like, really? But the funny thing is his Spotify playlist got stuck on the 80s, and it kept playing 80s. And it was really heavy on the Phil Collins too for a little bit.
Because
there.
we were having a conversation about
80s.
we saw
Collins.
Genesis on the last tour.
Yep.
It was her last time seeing Genesis. It was my first time seeing Genesis. Wish I'd have seen them earlier. But and the next thing you know, it's getting
Over.
And it was just like, all right, quit listening. It's time to start going back to.
And every time it played something for the 80s, we all went, it's the 80s. So it just kept playing them.
I had to go in.
I was happy. Hey, hola Miguel. Any plans to visit Aguas Calientes? Absolutely. We drove through
Spent the night there.
One night on our way to another location. We do plan on going back and spending an extended.
That was the site of the auto motel that would not let me pay for 4 sets.
Why is our internet dropping out? I'm sorry, guys. For some reason, our internet's dropping out. Doing a speed test to see what's going on. Our internet is just going crap.
It's starting to rain.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, I'm trying to get you guys back. Apparently, it has started to rain, and sometimes what happens when it rains is it messes with the dish. So satellite dishes just don't like rain.
Cross our fingers.
Did you ever notice that in Mexico, which has the most delicious yet messy food gives you the smallest napkins on planet Earth? I really have not noticed that. Have you?
Mm-hmm.
Have you? I just go and grab more napkins.
Yep.
Oh, goodness. I hope you guys can see us all right because I'm getting worried about the rain. Are you a football fan? And how are you following your team?
Damn Skippy, I'm a football fan. Yes, my Panthers. Hopefully this year we will be much more improved with Bryce Young. And thank you. We finally got a coaching staff in after the last 3 years of lunacy. So
Yes.
Feel much better about that. Matter of fact, we even restarted the Family Fantasy Football League. So that's we're looking forward to that. And, great time. So,
oh, gosh, every day. No worries, Sandy.
that's one of the things that our channel and retired life in Mexico No Bull, we're all here to help each other out.
Yep.
That's, I mean,
Yep.
if we were here to try and get rich off of this channel, we'd be living where we're living.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we're not rolling in the money, folks. So we're really just here trying to help each other out.
Yeah, and the best part about it, honestly, is both on Ernie's page and on here and on Mariana's, you know, and Brighton's and the others. It's all of you who share information, share what you have experienced, and share what has worked, what hasn't worked, what you've encountered. And, you know, that's what we're here to do.
Look, it keeps showing Safety Wing. I don't even have it there anymore. And yet it is still showing up. I don't get it. Okay. All right. Do we have plans to travel to the north?
No.
I will let him answer this.
No, what we basically did was we drew a line right across the country of Mexico and went Durango and south. And that was sort of where we went. We just feel a lot more comfortable in the southern part of the country. And that made us feel more secure and safer. And we went, okay, that was our plan. We started that pretty quickly and went, yep, that part has never deviated really.
Okay. Are we temporary residents?
See,
Yes, we are.
We toyed with the idea of going permanent or temporary, but then we came up with the idea of doing the 30 cities in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then we realized we were going to need a car.
And that's the next question. How long can you have your car?
Well, you basically, you get the one permit, and then every time that you renew, you take your renewal to the aduana, and at the aduana, they match the tip up with your residency. So you get a maximum of 4 years. I know that Mark and Paulette up in San Luis Potosi, you know, they're going to be, you know, encountering this, I think, next month, where they're going to have to take the car to the border and sell it and then buy in Mexico. So, you know, you get a maximum of 4 years, and then you're making the border run.
Yeah. Okay. So Ola from Niagara Falls. Hey, been there plenty of times. What beach town would you say is more affordable? Well, if we're going to be honest, we haven't been to Progreso yet. My gut's telling me it's probably going to be Progreso. That's my gut telling me, because PDC is tourism.
Yes.
As is Cancun, Puerto Morelos, Acumal, Tulum, Cozumel, Isla Mujeres. That whole stretch of Riviera Maya is tourism. But I have seen people that do live in those locations. They don't live on beachfront.
No.
They live more interior, and they live very affordably. Mariana on Mexico Relocation Guide has interviewed and featured a few people that live in those areas. I know one of them I saw was an older woman who lives in Playa del Carmen.
Mm-hmm.
And because I remember as I was watching the B-roll footage of her walking around, like, hey, I know where that is. We ate there. But she lives very affordably. I want to say she's like less than $1,000 a month on her rent. And
oh God, I'm glad you said for the rent.
For the rent, yeah. She's less than. I'm pretty sure she was less than $1,000 a month for her rent. She shops local. She lives local, but she's got a pool. She's in an apartment building, but she's not on the beach.
And another one to throw in there is Boca del Rio. You know,
True.
We because Boca del Rio is on the Gulf, the same as Progreso is. It's not on the Caribbean side, and that was. You can definitely say you're not getting a ton of Gringos in the Veracruz area.
No, you're not.
You know, when we went shopping at the Chedrui in Boca del Rio, did you see some? Yes. Was it like going to Walmart in PDC or City Market and SMA and you heard more English and you heard Spanish. No,
No,
no.
but I do believe no matter what beach town it is, you're going to have the tourism area and you're going to have the more local area, and you're always going to pay less in the more local residential area.
Well, and you're going to pay more because it's the beach. There's a limited amount of it. I mean, that's just,
Well, and if you don't live on beachfront,
Yes.
yeah, if you're on beachfront, you're going to pay more. If you're in a tourism area, you're going to pay more. So I don't know. Something's telling me Progresso might be more affordable, but we won't know for certain until we're there. We will be going there after this stay,
mhm,
and we are staying 1 block away from the beach.
block and a half.
Eh,
Yeah.
We're considered Centro. So,
Yes. Yes.
but Centro can be prime as well. I would say to look at websites like, is it Muebles 24?
Inmuebles 24.
And,
Yes.
and just kind of get a gander at what the rent rates are, because
Yes.
those are long-term rentals. Those are 6 to 12 month leased
Most of
rentals.
them are 12 month. I mean, it's.
Yeah. And if you look at that site and just look at those areas, you'll get an idea of what the average asking price is.
And you can also gauge what the difference between furnished and unfurnished is going to run you.
Oh yeah, most of the ones on that particular site are unfurnished.
You know, and then it'll tell you if you want it furnished, it'll run you this amount. So
Hey, look at this. The stress level drops exponentially. You are not kidding. You are not kidding. Honestly, it
added years to the life.
does.
I mean, I'm just.
You guys were our peeps to go to on YouTube because we came 6 weeks after you guys, and you were our inspiration and hope. And look at us now. Aww.
And
We love you guys.
Absolutely. Those two are the best. They're two of our greatest friends in all of Mexico. And if you don't know the story, in 5 weeks, opened a bank account, bought a car, bought a house.
They did that.
It was
Opened a
like-
bank account, bought a car, and bought a house in 5 weeks after getting to Mexico.
Yep.
Incredible.
Unbelievable.
Good job, guys.
Yep.
Oh, Derek, thanks for keeping it real. You know what? Thank you. Thank you for that, because that's one of the reasons that's what keeps us kind of going. We want people to understand real life in Mexico, not people playing on the beach or people going off and doing silly things or just good all the time. You know, everybody knows. You go to Facebook, you go to Instagram, all you ever see is everybody's good moments. You never see their bad moments. Nobody wants to show you their bad moments. And so, you know, everybody's life is not perfect. You got good, you got bad. And we want everybody to see that. Sometimes we catch some slack if we find something about an area that didn't agree with us. It doesn't mean it doesn't agree with someone else. No. And we're just like, well, you know, this is how it was. Look, we rented this Airbnb. We think we overpaid for it. It didn't even have a toilet seat. You know, that kind of thing. Can I have one too, please?
You want a Heineken?
No.
Oh.
No Heine for me, please. It tastes like pee.
I'm not going to ask how you know.
Never mind.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, that's cute. You're working on temporary residency in Puerto Vallarta is the top of the list, but it's quite pricey now.
It's another one of those that you're paying for the name.
The name and the familiarity.
Yep. And
Yeah.
you're also paying for, and now we haven't been there yet,
No.
but based on our experience, the places that the expat community congregates to,
Mm-hmm.
the price goes up.
Yeah.
It's
It's true. It goes up because they're willing to pay it.
And they get it.
And now we're talking about gentrification issues that you will often hear people talk about. Locals get priced out because property people, people who invest in property come in It's not always foreigners. It's often Mexican nationals. They come in, they buy up the property, they fix it up, and then they rent it out at a much higher price that they know they will get from people who can afford it, and it prices out the local residents, which is not cool.
No.
And, you know, we're not helping. Honestly, right now, this place we're staying in, locals wouldn't pay what we're paying for it. We know that they wouldn't.
No.
But our options for Merida weren't really that great when we were looking at places we could stay in.
Again, no, there were plenty of options.
There were options, but not
in Central.
not in Central, and I wanted to be.
And so we paid
for Central.
And that was one of the things that we basically went, you know what, how important is it to us? Because we have cut our monthly Airbnb bill down here in Merida to something that was within the budget. Absolutely.
We could have.
And we would have been north, and we'd have been up
Would have
there.
been north with all the Gringos.
And so, but we really, really wanted to immerse ourselves and be this close to Centro. And that came with a price tag. And then when you start throwing the other things in with it, it narrowed the pool down dramatically.
It did.
And this house, it's another one, sort of like El Tejar. It has so much character that even when we started looking at the other ones, we kept going, yeah, but the other one, I mean,
it's got antique furniture.
You'll see it when we show you the Airbnb video from this one.
It's coming up in a couple of weeks.
There's a lot to this house. I mean, you're talking almost 2 foot thick walls. I mean, it's just
for real. Oh Lord. So you're very welcome, SQ, and I hope that Quintana Roo area works for you. We kind of decided personally for us, we really didn't want to look there because we've done so many vacations in that area. Even going into a Walmart, people would follow us around while we're grocery shopping and want to sell us a timeshare or sell us a pass to Xcaret or something like that.
And the number of times.
Yeah.
Papacito, cigar. No. Yeah.
All right. Tastes like pee, Mark. You got Arlene laughing. We love you guys too.
I didn't make the comment.
Now I'm going to try to turn this off. And it's still showing safety wing. Okay, look. Let's just leave Arlene laughing for a minute. And I'm going to pull up a different banner. I don't have any banners left. I deleted them all, and yet it is still there. So let's look for Passe, because I want to talk a little bit about toll roads, because we've been asked about those too. So if I could just get the website for Passe.
Transponder de Passe.
That's Mercado Libre. I don't want that.
Oh.
That's not it. Oh, goodness. Seriously.
Yo no sé. There's an app called Tu Tag Passe.
I'm going to find.
Yeah,
That's
in the wrong order.
All right, here we go. Copy
There
this
you go.
link. I'm going to put this in the banner, and hopefully it will take out
The safety way?
No. You've got to be kidding.
Safety was mad because you went and changed it all.
I
You
guess.
deleted it and it's going.
I guess. Oh, safety wing. There we go. We'll do that. Add the banner. Show the banner. Now we're going to show that. Okay.
Now back to the
So
comments.
now let's talk about, whoops, I'm losing my cushion. All right, so we got a transponder. Now, Sir Dragon X assisted us. You can buy these at the OXXO. And right before we hit the first toll booth after crossing the border, we stopped in the OXXO and bought one of these. I think it costs approximately 150 pesos, maybe 200 pesos to buy it. And then you load it with as much cash as you want. We put 1,000 pesos on it. Now, when you do that, it takes them about 4 hours to set up your account, your initial account, and then payments made to it after that are fairly immediate. They also have an app And the app is actually called Two Tag Passe. And it shows you I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. It shows you every single stop, where you were, and how much you paid for that stop. Is that better? I'm trying really hard. You can also use this to reload your Passe account. It doesn't work for me because I'm not using a Mexican credit card, and it doesn't like that.
So we just go to the OXXO and here's 1,000, 2,000 pesos.
And it shows the
whatever.
recharges to the OXXO too. So those show up as well. At the top, it tells you how much you still have left on it.
Mhm.
And it works really well. So it's only been maybe twice. And all the toll roads that we hit, I think there might have been 2 times it didn't read.
Well, one had a sign up said solo efectivo, which we knew that was going to be cash only. And the other one, we were really befuddled as to why I didn't take it, but it was like, nope.
So I just
Here's
want to.
cash. So number one rule is if you're driving in Mexico, make sure you got money, Mexican money, because they don't take American dollars.
And try really hard to have bills that are 200 or less. Yeah, because a lot of these, for example, I'll just read off to you. A lot of these tolls were less than 60 pesos, and they don't want a 500 peso bill. And they'll look at you like you've got 4 heads.
They will,
like he did.
I need to break the 500, and it was one that was over 100 pesos. So I was going, I know they're getting 100 peso coin or bills all the time. So
I think the most expensive toll we ever hit was
233,
450.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
That was San Martin, Tefmolacan. I can't say that right. Tecmelucan.
Whatever. That was a healthy.
Arco Norte. That was a 450 peso toll. Occasionally, it's 150 or 120.
And I know that somewhere we came down here was 230
In
something.
Veracruz, we had a 236 toll. But most of the time, in close to Chichen Itza, it was 223 peso toll. Most of the time, though, it's less than 100 pesos per stop.
We're going to be paying that 223 a few times because we're going to be going through that route. Just, I don't know, 5 or 6 more times.
Right. And the question then becomes, is the toll worth it? Well, yeah.
Yes.
It's worth it. We actually got on a road trying to save us some time because of a road blockage closure potential.
Yes.
And took a regular road, a non-toll road, a free road. There was nothing free about this road. It was a time waste. The fastest he could travel was about 20 kilometers, I think, following a taxi. And the taxi was doing this.
From side to side. Yeah. And I'm just riding in his wheels because I'm like, he knows what he's doing, but it was horrible.
The road was in such bad shape.
And the only reason we took it was because the carretera had been closed the day before and they weren't sure whether it was going to be open the next day. And if we got to this spot where it was closed, we were going to have to literally backtrack all the way around and then take this road anyway. So it was like, no, we're not going to waste 2.5 hours that we may lose.
Yeah, so the toll roads are worth it. They're worth it for your safety. They're worth it for your sanity, but you are going to pay for them.
You do find more rest areas, gas stations, restaurants, baños. Thank God. Those are a little bit more readily available.
And the road's in better condition.
Now, when you take an exit, the exit is nothing like the road. Just going to say that. When
it's a little bumpy.
When we get off the interstate in the U.S., the exit you're good. You get off the carretera, slow your ass down because you're going to hit some bumps. I mean, I think Gina and I did that in coming into Aguas Calientes or between Saltillo and Aguas Calientes, and we went the car actually hit a bump and shifted over, and it was like, oh,
Let me pick
boy.
you up and move you over.
I mean, it just was shoom. So,
Ah, yes, Arlene agrees. This is a really lovely house, so we can't wait to share it with you because it's so cool. It's so cool. And happy to find you here.
And
Hey,
no, Sandy,
Diana.
we're not from Florida.
And we are not from Florida. I know, I missed that
We are
right
North
here.
Carolinians. Well, she's
Well,
actually Pennsylvanian, but
I'm a Pittsburgh girl.
she goes, let's go red up the room
We're gonna red up the room.
and get a gum band.
That's right. I'm gonna shoot gum bands at you for saying that. Oh, hola, Linda. My husband and I grew up in the border in Texas and spent a lot of time with family on the Mexican side. So I remember what life was like and I miss it. Good for you for living it. You know what? If you miss it,
Do it.
you can come back. You can come
Do
back.
it. It's the best.
Yes.
It's the best money and time and investment and all that we put into it that we have ever made.
Yeah.
And do I recommend everybody doing it in a 3-month fashion like we did? No. That's one horny lizard.
We got a lizard chirping behind us. Sorry.
I mean, he is definitely out searching tonight. But anyway, it was, we collapsed it down into a time frame, and originally, I mean, we cut a year off. We were originally going to spend 18 months, and we cut it down to 3.
Yeah.
And that added a lot of stress, but
I was glad to get it over with.
I'll tell you what.
Honestly, I was just glad to be here.
Once we hit Zakia and we unpacked the car, it was suddenly like, oh my God.
Like exhale.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Passe. Yes. Passe is the
It's-
bomb.
yeah.
And you don't have to dig all the time for money and everything. Ernie Baca, Retired Life in Mexico, No Bull.
Yep.
Dragon X has a wonderful video about how to buy this, how you load it, which lanes you choose to go through as you're going through the toll booths. It's a great video. And I tell you what, I wrote that down as a note. We were going to get one of these, and we sure did.
Of course, then Ernie took us across the border and he stopped and was like,
Yeah, get one.
get one.
Totally, I was on board with
Now
that.
it took 4 hours
for the initial.
for it to show up. So
Nobody wants the 500 peso bills. They don't. They don't because, well, I mean, you typically aren't buying things that cost 500 pesos and then they don't have the change to make the change.
well, then that's when you just buy more cerveza.
I know. Oh, here we go. Yes, it is an expensive one. Thank you, Diana. It was like the most expensive one on our list. You guys are making me thirsty. Salud.
Cheers.
All right. Man, we got through the questions and we got through our point topics. Hey, here's a good one. So something in these humid areas that I'm not used to, I mean, aside from mosquitoes and dengue, and I'm not even going to say Zika for reasons that I can tell you I did a research paper on Zika, but I'm going to say dengue and malaria. Mosquitoes are bad. So I found that if you put a capful or a tablespoon full of dish soap in like a quart of water, and you go pour that soapy water into wherever you find mosquito larvae swimming, they will be dead by the next day.
Gone.
And the reason it kills them is because mosquitoes, although they're underwater as larvae, they have to come up to the water surface and get air.
And they can't break through.
And the soapy water messes with the surface tension of the water, so they suffocate is what happens. So that'll wipe out your mosquitoes. But these little spiral things,
Coils.
these coils work. They work. So we've got a fan right here blowing
Mhm.
above us, and they don't like air movement, so they stay away, but they go under our table, and we light one of these coils, and these coils last for like 8 hours,
A long time.
and they work. They don't come around. So coils, man, keep the mosquitoes away. But worse than mosquitoes, in my opinion,
Oh, God.
I've never had to deal with this before, midges or no-see-ums. You literally cannot see these little things. They are so tiny. But you can feel them. Mosquitoes have a mouth part, and they puncture your skin with their mouth part and take a blood meal, and then they fly away. But no-see-ums, they just have mouth parts that chew your skin, like, and then they let the blood pool, and then they slurp it up. But they're so tiny, you don't see them, right? And what happens is those mouth parts, they hurt. They hurt more than a mosquito bite. And then that bite stays itchy for days, and it can itch so bad that you'll get scabs. I hate these things. And when we would get out of the pool in Veracruz, they would attack you. You could feel them. It was so bad. So
I have a name for them.
what?
Little bastards.
Little bastards. Little bastards.
Fine.
But these coils help, and they do help reduce those. Just giving you a public service
Yes.
announcement.
They come in a pack of 10, and it's wonderful.
So there you go. Look, yes, 4 years. And so Anivet and Arlene were watching us. They were subscribers. And that is our catchphrase at the end. It's like, we're doing it, you can too. And that is absolutely the truth. We are not professionals in this. We were like working off of YouTube videos and the guidance of others who were sharing their good advice, such as Sir Dragon X at Retired Black Mexico No Bull.
Mark and Paulette.
Mark and
Two
Paulette.
Travelers in Mexico.
Yes, we were watching Why Not Now at the time. We were watching these people, what they were really doing. And that helped us. And in return, we had people watching us, and it helped them. So that's pay it forward right there, if there ever was such a thing. So I'm so glad. And see, stress is down. Life is great. I know it's not for everyone, but if you can adjust and keep your expectations realistic, it's wonderful.
The hardest part of adjusting,
As soon as you can, yes.
it really is figuring out you're not moving to another state or another province if you're coming from Canada.
Hola, Wilfredo.
Hola, Wilfredo. You are moving to a different country.
Yeah.
And the best advice I can give anybody on here is go with it, because
Go with the flow.
go with the flow. Because,
Oh gosh, it's like Stacy Keach in Up in Smoke, and they're just like, just go with it.
Yeah, I mean, they're just, it's, you will encounter people that will ask you to do things that you would look at them and go, this doesn't happen in the States.
But it happens here.
Case in point, Annie, Vet, and Arlene came to see us in San Luis Potosí, and across the street from our house, where Rowdy, but that's what we named the dog because he liked to bark, or she liked to bark all the time, was this gentleman worked on cars. Mm-hmm. And so, we're walking out of the house, and we walked over, to sort of antagonize Rowdy a little bit. And the woman came out and, oh, would you like to see the cars?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're talking a 1934, 35 Roadster with the doors that open, the suicide doors. And you're just sitting here just going, oh my God, people in the States wouldn't do that for a stranger.
And
no.
They brought us in and showed us all the cars that were parked behind the cars.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And oh gosh, there you go. See, eating alive with those little no-see-ums. You got that right. They are just insane, and you don't see them. You really don't, but
Little,
you can feel them.
little bastards.
And they are itchy, itchy, itchy. They itch for days.
We will say the coils help tremendously.
Yes.
And if you're in a position where you're going to be spending some time outside, do two things. Put the coil, bring a fan. Because the air movement helps dramatically. So you put the coil down. So we have a table. Coil goes underneath the table. Fans up above move in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes it so much better.
Yep. Yep. Hi, Sylvia. Thanks for joining us. Oh, so your family's excited about you retiring to Mexico.
Well, yeah, they want beach town because they want to come visit and go to the beach.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
It really depends upon what suits you.
Yeah.
You're the one that's going to be living there, you know. And right now, I couldn't say whether it would be highlands or whether it would be
it's
Yucatan
hard.
jungle. I mean,
It's hard.
the hardest part, I think, for us is, you know, we got 30 cities. Well, we thought, okay, at the end, we'll have, you know, 4 or 5 that'll just jump right out at us. So far, we're in our 6th city.
We're in our 6th city, and I can say that 2 of them will not make the list. I'm not going to say which 2.
I know which 2.
Yeah.
But you know, it's you're sitting here going, wow. If we're only eliminating 1/3, that means when we're done with 30, it means we're going to have 20.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of discussion.
You know, Sylvia, let me just say this. You're going to want to rent
Mm-hmm.
at least for 3 months, which is hard to do on just plain rent. That would be Airbnb. But if you rent, you should be able to get a lease for a 6-month lease. And you just want to try it out before you make your final decision. Before you either you rent all the time and you got some mobility if you do, or before you decide to drop your final nest egg on a place to buy, just rent. Test out the area, see if it meets your needs, if you can handle the weather, if you like the people, the traffic, you know.
And here's the other part. Even in the city,
Mm-hmm.
do you want to be in this barrio or this
Mm-hmm.
fraccionamiento? I mean, it's, you know.
What amenities do you want? Yeah. Do you want to be able to drive, walk, catch a cab? You know,
there are,
bus.
I mean, because our plan is when we are done with the 46 months of trying this out, and we have 2 months to get to, you know, make the decision, get to that location, get ourselves some housing, take the car to the border. We're going to rent in that final city for a year before we buy anything.
Yeah.
Because we want to make sure that the city we choose, is it the right neighborhood for us? You know, all of these play a part in it. Little bastard just got me. But, you know, all those things occur. And so, you know, that's our game plan, is we want to make sure that we've got a good grasp on where we want to be in each, you know, in the city we toss out the anchor.
Bravo to Brenda. She finally made it to Mexico.
Yay!
Very good. And you're very welcome. We're happy to help. We're just sharing.
Hey, we're all
building the
here to help
community.
each other. That's,
Yeah, for
you know,
sure.
you guys have given us more than we will ever be able to repay.
And we're happy that you made it to a live stream, Brenda. So thank you for joining tonight. It's awesome. And Sylvia, exactly. So what are on the top of the list so far? What 2 are the top so far? Oh my. Whew.
I ain't saying. Because then I'm locked in. I mean,
And they could change. So we've only been to 6 places.
uh-huh.
And everything was Central Highlands aside from.
No, 3 were Central Highlands,
Okay.
and now 3 have been lowlands. So
Well, that's true.
yeah.
I like the weather. in Central Highlands. I like Querétaro a lot. I like San Luis Potosí a lot. So those were my top two in that area. Let's do that. My top two in the area of Central Highlands were Querétaro and San Luis Potosí.
Oh, that's easy. Okay.
So my top two so far
El Tejar and Merida.
would be the Veracruz area and Merida. There you go.
I mean, and we sort of knew that Valladolid, that was more of a jumping off spot, be able to do things and see things. And
Valladolid was kind of one of those places where we were like, okay, it's on the way to here, and it's in a good location for us to go see this and this.
And Valladolid holds a special place in our heart because Miguel took us to Valladolid, and that really opened our eyes to the Mexican lifestyle, not being the resort rats and just, staying behind the walls and going, yeah, I need another vodka tonic, which, I don't know how many times I've said that, but, getting off of the resort and getting into Mexico proper, that opened our eyes to, you know what, we could live here. And
so Diana, that's going to be the answer to this question. One city that won't make the list will be Valladolid. And let's just be very pragmatic and explain why. They have one major grocery store in town, and it's a small one.
no airport.
There's no airport. There's no major hospital. Those are important. So shopping options, an airport, and a hospital are very important. Other than that, and we're not party people. We don't go out and go bar hopping and things like that. But we were so used to things staying open very late in San Luis Potosí, especially in the Tequisquiapan Jardín, which was close to where we were. We could go out at 10 o'clock at night, walk to that Jardín, and there was entire groups of people, children included, out playing until midnight easily, and lots of vendors and activity. But in Valladolid, things started to shut down about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night in the Jardín. Now, there were businesses that were open, restaurants, hotels, a few stores, but the bulk of the activity in the central Jardín area in Valladolid was pretty much dead by 9 p.m.
They run on the bus schedule. I mean,
it's a tourism location. So they get a lot of people riding in from Cancun and from
Tulum and PDC.
Right. They're coming in because it's a tourism spot and it's a launching point. It's one of those things that you'll stop at Valladolid for lunch if you go to Chichen Itza, for example, or Ekbalam.
And if you go to Ekbalam, in our next video or video after that, we're going to give you the name of the restaurant you got to stop at. It's the bomb.
But it's definitely a lot more tourism driven than we either of us imagined. And we went during COVID the first time, so we didn't know.
When we first hit there in 2021 in February, they had just put the hotels at 35%.
Yeah.
And so we walked into Valladolid going, oh man, this is a nice, quaint,
quiet little
sleepy little town.
Yeah.
And what has changed in 2 years is you heard more languages spoken.
Oh yeah.
Then it's like, whoa, okay.
And it's not, the tourism is not a turnoff.
No.
That's not it. It's not, the buses that are trying to squeak down all these little narrow roads is not even a turnoff.
Nope.
There's nothing really that's a turnoff. It's just that the amenities that you need as you get older. If we wanted to do some big shopping, we would have to drive to either Merida or Cancun. If we wanted to go to an airport, Merida or Cancun.
Or Tulum now.
Or Tulum.
Well, not now, but soon.
Of course, you're going to have the Mayan train. But I mean,
yes,
it's not a place where you could just go easily to get something done.
And it's just one of those that just, it was a lot of fun. Enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah.
But could either of us picture ourselves living there? No.
No. We enjoyed walking around. We enjoyed going to the Mercado. I loved going to that Mercado. That was the first time that we really, really, really had the ability to shop local like that.
Yep.
And that was awesome. But even down our street, literally on the street we were on, all those restaurants were lunch places, and they were all closed by 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you wanted to go out and eat, you'd have to walk down to Centro, and I'm sure you understand that a lot of those places are now being priced higher for tourism. You know, so
Dinners.
of course that fast food type grab and go place, that was affordable, but it's a tourism driven location.
Yep.
And it's a lovely town that gets very quiet at night, and for some people that's great, but we're getting older and we really want the security and the easy access to medical, the airport, bigger stores to shop at, that kind of thing. So
the things to make our lives just
so
a little bit.
we do like Valladolid, but it's not going to make the list.
No.
For sure. And yes, absolutely. Moving to Mexico and assimilating is a learning curve, and it is so worth it. Couldn't agree more.
The biggest thing that I can honestly say is dealing with a sense of isolation. And that is totally on us because of the fact that we don't speak the language.
But we're trying.
We're learning. I mean, and I am getting better at it faster because I have more time to spend on it than she does.
Oh, he'll probably do even better now because he's got hearing aids.
Shit, now I can hear people.
Yes.
You know, it was hard to understand what people were saying. You know, I didn't know that hearing aids make me pee like a 15-year-old. You know, I can hit the bowl now. It used to be couldn't even splash.
Are you kidding right now?
Well, I can hear it now. I used to be. I was like, oh. You know. Anyway.
And look, we got people cheering for Querétaro. You know what? I love Querétaro. I really do. So it's definitely one of those top locations.
Querétaro has a lot of things that are in its plus column.
Yeah.
And four of the biggest reasons are named, I don't know, Anivet, Arlene, Lise, Romy. I mean, four of our best friends in all of Mexico live there. San Luis Potosí, we got Mark and we got Paulette.
Yep.
I mean, and realistically, the places that have hit us the most are the places where we have made the personal connections. I mean,
Familia Mortero.
If we went, we could go back to El Tejar, and we have a family. I mean,
Yep. A family who would be willing to help us find a place that we could actually afford that was reasonable for a couple instead of a mansion. Yeah. So we've made some really good friends.
But so the best advice is learn Spanish.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Look, you're being lured by cigars.
Yeah, no shit. There is that. We have not yet overcome. Well, we think we've overcome that. You know, thank you, Mauricio, and thank you, Arlene and Annette. We think we solved that problem. Yeah. But.
Yeah, and thank you, Diana. See, I don't want people to think that we're just marking things off, that we don't like the areas. We selected these areas very purposefully. We kind of knew that we were probably going to like something about it, but we really needed to see if we stayed here, is this place going to be worth it for us to have to drive 45 minutes to an hour in an emergency? That kind of thing. And unfortunately with Valladolid, as lovely as it is, no. We need to have that airport. We need, for, whatever reason, if I have to fly back to the States with another laptop scenario.
Or I have an 83-year-old mother.
Exactly. Family issues, a daughter that could be getting married someday, maybe. I mean, just.
Grandbaby about to pop in 2 months.
Yeah, there's reasons that you need to have those conveniences. And so, it's pretty important. And Valladolid, for all of its loveliness and its beautiful buildings and the lovely people.
And the history.
It's just amazing.
Which, for more on the history, check out tomorrow's video.
And its proximity to all the different beautiful cenotes and Ekbalam and Chichen Itza and Iquil. I mean,
Coba.
The food, it's a wonderful, wonderful place. But
the cochinita papillo.
But those other things are very important too.
Yes.
So, Okay, have you noticed the detox of your bodies from fake food in the States? Alfredo, yes, absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, I'm
All right.
down 13 pounds.
Look, I am not, but that's because I sit on my butt all day long in front of a computer working, and then I sit on my butt most of the evening working on videos, and I don't walk around that much. The only thing I've noticed that I don't like about Mexican food, and this is not processed, a lot of stuff that we have tried to buy that is somewhat processed, a frozen food item, maybe a snack chip of some kind, very, very salty. I don't know why that is. Is it my taste has changed? I don't know. Very, very salty, and I start holding water in my ankles if I get too much salt. But the food itself, fresh, good tasting.
Mm-hmm. The veggies. We haven't adjusted to the veggies yet. I mean, the elote and the peas just haven't hit our palate.
That's right. The canned and the
No.
frozen corn and peas has been a little bit of an issue.
You know, the broccoli, no problema, but yeah.
It says our connection's unstable and it's back up. Okay. I don't know what's going on again. But I have fibromyalgia, and I do get flare-ups of inflammation. I really haven't had that happen. Very slightly, right around the time that I was having stomach issues in Valladolid, there was a little bit of something happening there. But I haven't had any flare-ups since we got here.
And just,
I haven't.
Just to give you an idea, in the States, when we drove to South Dakota, I was fighting back spasms, horrible back spasms. And as of yet, have not had them here in Mexico yet.
It's stress.
And I'm thinking that's totally 100% on the stress. You know, so that does, yes, I think plays a huge part in feeling better. And the other part is what news?
Yeah, we're not. I don't even watch. We don't watch TV.
No, we haven't turned the
don't watch
TV
TV
on since San Miguel. And the only reason we turned the TV on in San Miguel was for the playoffs.
Yeah, and the Super Bowl.
For the Super Bowl. That was, I mean.
So Debbie, yes, I totally understand a soft landing spot. I'm right there with you because my Spanish is just really bad. And we thought his was better than it was until we got here. It's a great idea to land in a place where you know there's going to be English spoken until you can acclimate, just as long as you don't give up. Just as long as you take the time to take Spanish classes, however you can do it, through an app, through a computer, recordings. I mean,
we have a subscriber on here.
Yeah.
Jenny Hammond gives Spanish lessons.
There you go.
Give a shout out to Jenny.
Yes.
She teaches English here. I think if I remember right, I think she teaches English here in Mexico, but she speaks Spanish, so she also teaches Spanish to the English speakers. So it's a great way.
And I purchased and downloaded access to Gritty Spanish. And Gritty Spanish, it did cost some money, but I took a coupon code somewhere, I don't know where. And I got every lesson they had. Now, this is in my arsenal. I still haven't devoted a whole lot of time to it because I'm so busy, but I'm trying to make the time. But I like Gritty Spanish because they give you real life scenarios, like missing the bus, girlfriend's pregnant,
Other words, how to cuss in Spanish,
having a fight with the husband. I mean, you'll be out on the street and you'll hear people using these words. Don't you want to know what it means? You get the slang and things. And so I was like, yeah, let's do Gritty Spanish.
Okay. But to further what you just got to say, you don't hear the arguments down here.
No, you don't. But it happens.
I've heard one between a couple And that's, I mean, we've been here 8 months. One time I have heard a couple, that was getting into it. So this had been the States. Yeah, you can't go that long without somebody pitching a fit about something.
Oh Lord, mezcals and cigars, you know it.
Mezcal, cigars.
Thank you. And Diana, thank you so much. Thank you for that. You really didn't need to do that. So we appreciate it. Thank you. So you had to see the doctor. I'm really sorry, but 50 pesos, Yeah, there you go. Couple bucks. And then you get a prescription. There you are. How can you beat that?
You can't.
You can't. Now, the education level on some of those consulting doctors near the pharmacies, they don't quite have the education level that a doctor in the United States might have. And of course, as you get higher into the specialists, those people do. But you know what? Sometimes all you want is just somebody to say, yeah, you've got this symptom, this symptom. It could be the flu. It could be a cold. It could be strep throat. That's all you need. That's all you need.
Ivermectin.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take your ivermectin and boom.
SQ, thank you. If you're still here, thank you. And we hope that you're also going to have a wonderful day, wonderful evening. Thanks for jumping in. And there you go. Sense of isolation in the language barrier. Yes, yes. And it is, even having a conversation with a delivery person from Amazon at the front door can be a struggle sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a common everyday thing. You're getting a package delivered and I freeze and I don't know what to say. And eventually I'm hoping that improves.
I think the hardest part of that is we want to beat on ourselves for not learning it fast enough. And because I do that to myself. It's one of those where I'm going, I should know this. And the most frustrating part is when I leave and I know exactly what to say
After
5 minutes after I wanted to say it.
Yeah.
But then I realized that had I said it, would I have known what the hell they were saying when it came back to me?
Yeah.
And now that I can hear, hopefully, it's going to get a little better. But and
Guys, for real,
you know,
he came back with these hearing aids and he's not yelling anymore.
the biggest thing is learn the phrase "hablas despacio, por favor." Speak slower, please. Because it need time. And I'll just give you this story. When I showed up at the hearing aid appointment today, there was a lady who stopped me on the street right outside of the audiologist. And she's wearing a mask. And she's speaking Spanish to me.
Yeah, it's hard.
And I understood about 1 out of every 3 words. And so I told her, I said, lo siento, mi español es muy malo, pero tengo una cita aquí, ahí. And so I took her with me. We walked in, and she was able to ask her question to the people that were in there, and they were able to get her to the pharmacia that she was looking for.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So I was able to work my way through it, but the masks, for those of us who do not speak the language, and that just adds a barrier in there. I mean,
Yeah.
just it's like,
So is Lake Chapala on our list? Hola,
Yes.
Tyler. It certainly is. We are looking at potentially 3 locations for our stays in that area, so we can sample a little bit of each location.
Ocotepec, Ajijic, and Chapala.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing it all back. Okay.
I didn't say when.
But yes, we are going to go there. And one of the reasons is because it is a soft landing spot.
Mhm.
And it's been spoken of very frequently. And there are YouTubers that regularly post things from that location. And like right here, So Debbie's like, she's going to start at the Lake Chapala Society with her Spanish lessons.
There you go.
That is an excellent idea.
Mhm.
That Lake Chapala Society has been around for quite some time. I want to say since the 1950s, maybe.
Yes.
And so, yeah, they are a huge support system for English-speaking immigrants and expats in that area, for sure. Notice I did say immigrants and expats. Just keeping it real. And yes, Arlene, that's stress. We talked about this.
Yes,
The hand on your neck, man, it's going away. That's right. This is good stuff.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Hey. Endocrinologist specialist without insurance and pay $50 and 10 for 2 months of prescription.
And,
Your copay would have been $50 to $60, maybe more for a specialist, plus your insurance payments.
and having to deal with the insurance company.
Yeah.
You can only
Yeah.
go this many times, and you're only allowed to have this insurance. I mean, this prescription.
Look at it. In a brand new hospital, too. Very good. Very good. Nature lover. Hola. And oh my
Thank
God,
you.
you must be talking about me now. Come
Oh.
on. Thank you. Let's see. Mark. Aw.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
it's true. It's true. Mark does do them faithfully every day because he's a competitive person by nature and he's trying to have the best score.
I'm just trying to learn. But yes,
Yes.
I am
know.
up to 595 days consecutive of doing my lessons.
Yes. And yes, new hospital and close to Guadalajara International. Absolutely. That's one of the reasons why it kind of made our list. It's because the proximity to a major airport. It has good medical facilities, and even the ones not right there lakeside, they have excellent medical facilities in Guadalajara. So it was definitely one of the reasons why it's on our list to visit.
Concerns of IEE is the walkability.
The walking, we've
With
heard people talk
Yeah,
about the
I mean, it's
traffic
just-
being kind of bad at certain times of the year.
And we're prejudging because until we get there,
Until we
really
get there, we don't know. We don't know. So
Correct.
we give everybody a fair shot that we stop at
Mhm.
just to see. That's the only way you're going to ever know if it fits you or not. Girl, they got an ultrasound in the office? That's impressive. That's impressive. See, and you have a friend from Switzerland. Let me tell you a little story here. Initially, while he's doing this, whenever I put these videos out, I wasn't doing the subtitles until one day I looked at the subtitles, and whatever the auto translation subtitle machine is on YouTube, it's horrible. And it was missing words, making up words. It's terrible. So I started paying attention to the subtitles. And then I started thinking, I should probably have this translated into languages that I think might attract other people who might be interested in moving to Mexico. So then I started thinking about what groups have I heard, either on YouTube or in conversation, moving to Mexico. Well, there's a large Korean population in Merida. There are people from India. There are people from Europe, from other countries, such as France and Spain and Portugal, etc. There are people here from Germany, Austria, Italy. There are people from China. When you get into the more industrial locations that are pulling in business internationally, you've got Korean, Japanese, and Chinese and companies from Taiwan moving in.
That sounds like Querétaro.
Yeah. I mean, international. Mexico is an international melting pot. So what I started to do is I started to take that English translation that I would fix, and I started using it to do the translations into all the other languages. And don't you know it? The top 5 languages for our videos, the top 5 people who speak this language viewing our videos.
Why are you saying 5 and holding up?
Because I have because I can't think my thumb is decapitated.
Okay.
Okay. Amputated. Anyway, of course it's English is number 1, followed by Spanish, So it's English followed by Spanish, Portuguese, Indonesian, Hindi. Oh, wait, there's 6, and Filipino. Those are the top 6 languages watching our videos. So if that doesn't tell you or convince you
That people want to
that
come to
people
Mexico.
want to come to Mexico, and if it doesn't convince you that this is a melting pot of a country, just like the United States would be, or just like Canada would be.
Just like the United States used to be, but we'll stop at that. Yeah.
So, okay, planning to move to either Merida, Pátzcuaro, Querétaro, etc. Yes.
Well, it sounds like you're
Yes.
doing like what we are.
Yes.
I mean,
you just got to try them all
You got to
out.
try them out.
Try them all out. You're doing the purge. Oh, bless you, because it's hard. That's like the first thing people need to start doing.
Yes. I mean, the purge really was the hardest part to begin, but it really got easier because we had a firm deadline and we were we're not talking weeks, we're talking days. And so we had a dumpster in our driveway and suddenly it was, this box is going. Open it up, take a quick peek and go, there's nothing in here that we really, it's been moved from house to house to house to house to dumpster.
Yeah.
And, if buy. And so,
the trailer, I'm actually more concerned about your trailer. People do it, you can do it, but absolutely expect it that you'll probably be inspected. You're going to have to do that document. I think it's called a Casa de Monje or something like that.
Household goods.
You're literally going to have to itemize every single thing you have.
Here's the biggest issue I have with a trailer. Where are you going to spend the night? Because you could not pull. I mean, as deep as some of these auto motel, and some of them are really deep. I mean, you could almost get the trailer in there, but I don't think you can be able to find one that you're going to be able to get both a vehicle, a truck, and a trailer inside there and be able to close. And then the question becomes, do you want to leave your trailer outside?
I mean, you could, if you've got 2 of you and one of you wants to take shifts, maybe keeping an eye on the trailer, you could do it. I wish we could have done something like that, but realistically, he's right. For us to have to pull that around an entire country would have been, we would be attracting attention and not always the right attention. Now, what I would say is if you are going to go from point A to point B and you just plan on landing in that one location and that's where you're going to stay.
They got to get there. I mean, if you're talking about Morelia, that's a 3-day drive or 2 hard days in Mexico to get there. You're going to have to spend the night someplace. And
I mean, your alternative solution would be have somebody meet you at the border, pack all your stuff in their truck and let them drive it. But here's the thing.
Then you got to do that again when you go.
But a lot of these movers, they're using an open air pickup truck with a tarp.
We've seen it.
We've seen them move furniture in and out of houses that way, and they'll wrap everything with saran wrap or something. Seeing closed box trucks don't seem to be as common in those scenarios.
Let me give you this suggestion. We have a roof bag. And the roof bag has worked like a champ.
Yeah, but not an 8x12 trailer, man.
I get that, but you just may have to purge down even more.
I don't think it's impossible. I just think that you need to really think about and plan where you're going to stay and who's going to watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Until you get where you're going to go. So.
Yikes.
Yes, I thought translating was a great idea too because it gets further reach. So yeah, I know. So Debbie, 2 hip replacements. Goodness gracious! But you're walking around and you got mobility, so that's great. That's what it's about. His mom says motion is lotion.
Motion is lotion.
Yeah. And And Puebla City, Italian and German and
Mhm.
French. Yes, we actually heard, I think it was Dutch
In Valladolid.
and German in Valladolid. So for sure. And a man from China, absolutely. It's a melting pot of a country. Hello from California,
Hola,
Claudia.
Claudia.
Thank you for subscribing. Thank you. And you just got dual citizenship. That is awesome.
That's hitting a home run.
That sure is. Congratulations. And you threw out so much stuff. Yeah.
Well, you guys were still throwing out stuff in the airport. I mean,
Yeah.
if we told you what all those two had to go through, you guys would not believe us. But it's
watch the video. 2 travelers in Mexico have 6 expats.
Yep.
You'll hear their story.
Oh my Lord.
You'll hear their story. It caused us anxiety.
They were emailing us as they were, doing their travels, and it was just like, and you're right.
Stuff. It's just stuff.
It's stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I was throwing trophies out. It suddenly dawned on me as we're purging. I'm going, you know what? I still remember winning the trophy.
I mean, it sits in the garage.
If the point comes where I can't remember that I won it, what good is the trophy?
It was sitting in the garage getting dusty.
It was crap. I mean, it really was. And so, and I went the same way through my closet. And trust me, that was not an easy task.
Look, we did keep our Letterman jackets.
They're in the storage unit. But I went through my closet and was like, suits gone. I'm not wearing suits. I left 2 suits at my mom's house because it was like, okay, if I got to go to a funeral or a wedding or whatever,
But guess what? He can't wear them now.
I can't wear them anymore.
He lost weight.
I mean, we're talking, when I was wearing suits at work, I was 215, 220 pounds. I'm 185 now. I couldn't keep those drawers on if I tried.
Cockroach. Guys, here's some more realism for you. You're going to get cockroaches in Mexico. You can't avoid it.
You can saddle them up and ride them.
And so far, I haven't really noticed any of the house type, the little ones that all come out at night and they're like growing all over the place.
No,
these are the big ones that live outside, and sometimes they come inside, and they're so big you can put a saddle on them and ride them home.
They show up on air traffic control when they fly.
And you know what? They used to bother me. They don't even bother me anymore. Scorpions. In the Central Highlands, scorpions can be a thing. I haven't seen them here yet. I know they're here. I haven't seen them. But we would see them all the time in Querétaro. So.
But we see more lizards down here.
Yeah, that's true. Well, lizards. I love lizards.
And we've heard them a lot more.
Hey, karaoke trophy.
So did I. And so did she.
I did too.
Yes.
I got rid of my karaoke trophy too. Yes. Malicon Money. Buenas noches. So, been practicing our Spanish. 3 months in La Paz. Okay.
Whatever.
So you've been using Q-Ru's lessons. You know what? I like his lessons about expanding your vocabulary. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it was basically like you just drop off the ending, you add this ending, and you had all these extra words. And I actually started taking his lessons a year ago, and I got to like lesson 4 and got busy.
Folks,
it's true.
For those of you, this does not apply to Arlene and Annie Beck because they speak Spanish, but trying to learn the language, the hardest part, 2 hardest parts.
Oof.
Conjugation of the verbs.
Yes.
And the damn pronouns.
Yes.
Lay, la, te, to, tu, ta, me.
Knowing the masculine and the feminine.
Oh my Lord.
When the word doesn't even seem like it should be masculine and feminine, like
El sofá.
Like buenos dias. I'm sorry. Dios is God. Dias is day. It sounds like a feminine word to me. Why is it not buenas? Why is it buenos? I don't get it.
I don't know. I didn't make the rules.
I know. But those things
I'm
throw
just
me
trying
too.
to learn them.
Yeah. It's true though. And you're purging. And yes, you know what? It's almost paralyzing and crippling at first because you just don't even know where to start or what to let go of. And then you get to a point where you're like, no, out.
No, the clock is ticking.
Yeah.
And suddenly you realize this ain't all going to go. And the priority level that was, oh no, this cannot be let go. This cannot be let go. This cannot be let go. Anything above there now, yeah, it's let go. It's gone. You know, I mean, CDs, a perfect example. You know, all my CDs I have burned and ripped. Did I need the discs anymore just to have the cover art? Well, you know what? I go into the Spotify and there's the cover art.
Guess who kept all the CDs? Me. No scorpions, but tiny ants for days. We saw tiny ants in Veracruz. And the little ant,
oh my God,
the little ant traps and this Baygon bug spray instantly takes care of the ants. Now, here in Merida, we have big cutter ants, and they seem to only come out at night. And there is a trail. Oh, here's the spray. This is the spray we buy. Guys, this stuff rocks. Baygon. Total. This is amazing stuff. It will kill a cockroach on contact.
And yes, you do hear Edgar Winter Frankenstein because they only come out at night.
That's right. So there's these cutter ants. They're out right now, and they only come out at night. And they run this path. It goes all the way out to the street, down the sidewalk, and to the neighbor's flowering bush.
And they cut the flowers
And they cut
off.
the flowers off her bush, and they carry them all the way back in here, past the pool, past this wall behind us. They carry them up a wall, and then I think they're disappearing under a pot over here.
There's a hole in the ground over here by the pool that I don't know what was there before, and they put boards over it, and put a planter on top of it, but the ants just right down in it.
So yeah, we got these big ants, man. Paul's videos are excellent. They really are. I just wish I could devote more time.
Duolingo.
And he's the Duolingo guy. I've got I got Rocket Languages, which I do like, but I'll get like 3 or 4 lessons in, and then I'll miss a few days, and then I want to start over to reinforce what I learned, and then I never make any progress. So it's my problem. But now I got gritty Spanish too, so I'm waiting to learn all kinds of bad words. And that's my question. Why? See, thank you. Why? Dios is God. Dios seems feminine. So why is it buenos dias?
Why is it el sofá?
I don't know.
I don't either.
It makes no sense. Okay. Tons of donations. All
Yep,
right. All right.
Hey, the local library.
That's right.
Here you go.
Baygon. There you go.
Yep.
Stuff is the bomb, and it works. And you know what? It has a lovely, pleasant smell. It doesn't smell like bug spray. It smells like air freshener.
I can't smell, so I can't hear, can't see, can't smell.
Yeah, I know, Arlene, you're right. Nobody bought any of the media that we have in our estate sale at all. It was thrown in a dumpster if it didn't sell.
Well,
we did donate some of it to the Goodwill.
Except for the Bogey movies, those I got saved.
That's true.
God, I'm sorry. I'm an old soul and love my Bogey.
And you donated to the local Harris County Library. Yeah, that's great. But in some cases, some libraries will take that stuff because, they're shifting away from certain types of media as well. So it happens. I mean, that's a great idea, though. If they'll take it, why not?
Let's be for real. My mom bought me a Kindle for my birthday when she found out we were moving to Mexico, so I was going to be able to read. And so I have a subscription to a library in the United States, and I just download my books. And I've been reading the entire time we have been in Mexico. So
On a Kindle. Yeah.
on a Kindle, and absolutely love it.
He does, but I'm more of a physical media person. I like to touch the pages, and I like, I like vinyl records after all, right? So a nature lover, yes, there is a list of what is and isn't allowable to take across the border, and but it's just the entire having to have that.
It's what do you do with it at night? That's the part that just
it's knowing that you'll probably be inspected, knowing that you have to have that itemized list and the value of everything stated, and knowing that
down to serial numbers.
That everything you have is all that you have in the world, and now you're hauling it along in a foreign country with a foreign plate.
And the thought of having to unpack it all. I mean, that has been our biggest, the closest we have come was the drive from El Tejar to Valladolid, and we hit the state line at Yucatan. And it's pretty routine. Might as well expect it. If you're going to drive, you're going to see checkpoints at the state lines.
Yep.
That's just the way it is. And so when we got to the Yucatan state line, got to the checkpoint, she's waving us over. And so I pull over, and they're further still. And I'm like, there's a drop off like that. And we pull over, and the guy comes over, and I'm doing my best I can in Spanish, and they can tell that English is preferred language. They sent a gentleman over, and I'm going to give you a hint right now.
Oh, yeah.
So the gentleman came over, and he was, sir, can you get out of the car? Absolutely, not a problem. I shake his hand.
Firmly.
And Gina was sort of like, why did you shake his hand? I said, I wanted him to know I was not nervous. He was not going to feel a tremor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he asked me to get out of the car too.
And he asked her, and all he did was take a look under the steering wheel, take a look up underneath the glove box with a mirror and a flashlight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that was
Have
it.
a safe trip.
Yeah. No big thing.
What I'm telling you though is that you don't have if you're traveling without anything to hide, I'm just saying, shake their hand, because we didn't have a thing to hide. And if any of you have seen the videos with how the vehicle's packed, the thought of unpacking all that on the side of the road, and then spending the 2 hours plus to pack it all back up.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Right.
So.
Right. There you go. Bogart films. Man, they are good.
Oh.
We love them. Yep.
Hands down, one of the best actors in Hollywood. Everybody says typecast him and everything else, and I'm going,
no.
Go watch some of the more obscure ones, and you'll suddenly find out Sabrina is a great film where he plays it dead straight, because he plays the older brother Linus, and he is just none of the typical Bogart, characteristics that we all go, from seeing Maltese Falcon or The Big Sleep or Casablanca, where he's the flawed lead. No, he is playing, and I'm sorry, shout out these two, King Mutiny and The Big Sleep.
Oh, The Big Sleep. Put your lips together and blow.
No, that's the Have and Have Not.
That's Have and Have Not.
No, the Big Sleep is the one that he falls for the sister, and
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one has more twists and turns than you're suddenly going.
So, yes, I do have LPs and 2.
No, not here.
Not here.
They're in
They're in
storage.
storage, and that's where they're going to be until we get a final place to stay, because those final records would fill up the whole back end of a trailer. So
I'm still not sure how those are
we don't know yet.
ultimately going to make the trip. I mean, the only way I can see that happening is we're going to abuse the vehicle and just put them in there because they got to have air conditioning. And
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Not worried about it right now. Dual citizenship. That's right. Okay. Hey, there you go. Thank you, Greg. Yeah, he did really well. He's done really well.
I haven't worked on it a bit. Honest to God, it's the result of just being here and eating the food.
It's true. The food's just better for you. It's fresher and it's normal size. No Amazonian chickens.
God. Well, we did wings for dinner.
I mean,
cooked wings and
the wings were like pigeons.
And someday I will be able to make my wings again here in Mexico, but don't quite have everything I need to make the wings. So we went to the alternative method today. And so I just threw them in the crock pot with some buffalo sauce. And give you an idea, it used to be that when I would fix wings, I would fix about 10 wings in the U.S. total.
Yeah, they were huge.
5 for her, 5 for me.
They were huge.
You know, we do them on
They
Sunday.
were genetically modified Amazonian chickens who couldn't even walk on their own feet type wings.
Today, both of us put down 10 wings, and it was like, not 10 wings, 10 parts of the wings. And it's just like, nope, because I get the drumette, she gets the flats.
I like the flats. That's how I do it. That's how I roll. So I am also a book person, and I have a really nice library. I did keep some of the books, but I got rid of a lot of books that I've had for years that were just, I didn't need them anymore. And you know what? And every time you get on those domestic planes, you lose something, right? Absolutely. So 40s and 50s movies, like he really likes to watch Turner Classic movies. And that was a regular thing when we were in the United States. We haven't watched TV since we got here. So the Turner Classics was the channel. And that's where we saw a lot of these old films. They were great. He likes his film noir, especially.
Film noir?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the best movies ever made.
So, Mark and Paulette, you kept your CDs in a case in the car and a larger case. A lot of books. Yep, donated to the library. We really didn't have a library that would take them.
The biggest issue we ran into is we were so compressed in time.
That's true.
And the biggest conundrum that we ran into was we had so much going on in such a short period of time. Honest to God, we really did not have time to think. We thought we had it all under control, and when we got done, we went, that was pretty stupid, but we did the best we could with the time that we had.
So your neighbor had daughters getting married, and you say, come on over and get the furniture. That is a fantastic idea.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm sure that they appreciated that.
Here's a wedding present.
There you go.
Boom.
Good idea. Let's see. Ademias.
Oh, you're going to skip the bogey one, huh?
I'll come back to it.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Sorry about that. Downloaded it for free. Okay. And there are stories in Spanish in the dictionary. That sounds good. I need to write that down.
Well, you can always go back.
I can go back. I'll take a picture right now. I'm taking a picture of you. I'm taking a picture of the screen so I remember this. Okay, I thought I was.
Yeah.
I'm not taking a picture of the screen. This is how I do everything in
Because
life.
you're on video.
I take a picture. There we go. I got a picture. And I will go back later and look that up. Thank you for that. Okay, here is your bogey.
Yeah. I mean, all through the night, people go, huh? What movie? All through the night, it's comedic and it was brilliant. So don't get me started on the bogey. I can go all night.
Well,
Love
here we
my
go.
bogey.
There you go. Beat the devil.
Yes, that was one that we actually tried to download to watch, and the quality was so bad that we had a hard time watching it. But that's
Oh, I
great.
remember that.
That was a great movie because it's one of the ones that people to this day still talk about. His wardrobe in Beat the Devil was one of the all-time great wardrobe fittings, and he was wearing the ascot, the white suit.
Oh my goodness.
Bogey was just rocking.
This is what we talk about. This is what men
Hey.
talk about, is how good he was dressed in this movie.
I'm just saying, he got critical acclaim for the wardrobe.
Okay, that's cool. And I love that you're keeping those LPs in storage. I think that's great. And let's see. Better food,
Yeah.
fresh ingredients, and you're moving around more. That's true. Well, some of us are moving around more. Some of us just sit in front of a computer all day.
I mean, I walked 15 blocks and I only needed to walk 10 today. But
I would walk more if I wasn't sitting in front of the computer all day. Oh, goodness. Let's see. So, a big record collector, and that's one of our concerns moving them. Okay, so this is what I wanted to be sure of. We needed climate-controlled storage because too cold is just as bad as too hot. So we end up getting a climate-controlled, I think it's 5 by 15.
5 by 15.
And I boxed up all the records in boxes that I could put back onto the record storage shelves. And we basically moved, and they moved the storage shelves into the unit first, and then one by one moved those boxes of records into the unit and stuck them on them shelves. And that's where they are, and that's where they'll be now.
Stored vertically.
Yep.
I mean, that's important. You got to store them
You
vertically.
have to store vertically. And all of my records are in polyvinyl type bags, so
And
they're protected.
just a hint to make life easier, put an arrow pointing up on each box, because by the time you get up to about the 16th, 17th, 18th box of records, you're going, put this shit in the hole. And be
Well,
done with
I
it.
actually wrote on the outside of the boxes
And
what letter alphabet I was at.
I know, and that's what we used it to orientate. But what I'm saying is, if you're not going to go that level, put an arrow so that people know which way to store it.
And it's one of these things where when the time comes, I'm going to have to do one of those Casa Manhe. Is that what it's called? I can't think right now, but one of those itemized lists. And I'm going to have to itemize the value of my records. But I thought about that in advance. See, I have a Discogs account. DISCOG. Discog. Discogs.com is where people will go to look up the value of records that they have, or to build their collection and keep a list of the records that they own. They can also buy and sell and trade on there. My record collection is modestly valued at $22,000. On a high end, over $50,000. And on the low end, probably more about $10,000. So even if we had to import my records, we would get hit by a VAT tax. I'm figuring less than $2,000. I'll just say this is the value of my collection, and I'll pull up the low ball off of Discogs. That's how I'm going to itemize that. I'm going to look and see if I can print that list out on Discogs too.
Yeah.
What?
Nothing.
I mean, you have to itemize it.
I don't have to worry about that for 3.5 years.
Look for the shortcuts, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
4 years, 5 years, whatever.
But I'm trying to see where we are on here now, because we're getting, Oh gosh, there we go. Rosebud, you know it.
Oh,
You know it. I love that movie. I love that movie. And it was so sad that he was making
What?
that girl sing, trying to make her sing. He was so obsessed with her.
come on, Citizen Kane.
Yes.
Not even in my top 15.
Well, not in your
I know.
top 15, but I
I'm
do
just
like
saying.
the movie. So
Yeah, it's a good movie.
it's a good movie.
His better movie was The Third Man with Joseph Cotton. Just saying.
Okay. So let's see what we got here. 60s. Ship things by sea, cheaper. Okay. Ship things by sea. I'd be afraid to do
The
that.
hardest
with my
part about
records, though.
the shipping by sea is the climate control part.
Yeah, I would be a little worried about that with the vinyl
Mhm.
records. That would make me nervous.
If it was
really
just
nervous.
household goods, okay.
I mean, I
get that,
have
but-
records in pristine condition that are worth. I don't remember what I looked up, Arlene, if you recall. I think it was like $400 or $500 for one of my records that I have. They're limited editions, some of them, not all of them. Some of my records are just scratched up Goodwill bargain bin things.
Well,
But some of them are limited, and I bought them either from a record club or I bought them on Record Store Day. So some of them are pretty pricey.
some of my listen to death
Yeah,
because they're good albums, and you went, oh damn, this is a good album.
there you go, honey. Time to go to bed.
Yep,
Has to work tomorrow.
yep.
I got that. Buenas noches. I'm sure
Buenas
he's
noches.
probably gone already. I'm so sorry. Here we go. We're all talking about these noir movies. If you guys don't mind, I'm just going to kind of skip past these a little bit.
What? What?
Well, I mean, they're talking to each other about the noir movies. I like them too, but just, Ooh, a Spanish-English picture dictionary. All right, don't laugh at me, but when we were staying in Querétaro at the apartment, Roddy and Landy's apartment, Louis, Life with Louis had little picture books in Spanish. And I was actually looking at them, and I thought that was helpful.
Well,
it's a child's book.
And one of the things that we were recommended to do was take Post-it notes and write the names of all the things in your house and put a Post-it note on it, So la cafeteria.
But the compulsive person in me goes, that is just too much clutter.
I'm just saying.
I know.
You would know. You know what a cafeteria is?
Cafeteria?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm assuming it's a carafe.
It's a coffee maker.
Coffee maker. Okay, so carafe. Okay, that makes sense.
Well, carafe holds it.
I guess anything with aria is, yeah, okay. So let's see here. Quality of some of the downloads of The Beat the Devil is awful.
Yes.
Oh, look at this. You actually know. You guys know this?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, cool. There you go. Palmettos. Yes. The big roaches are palmettos. When I was little, my mom used to call them water bugs, which I never really quite got. But I know these big ones, they tend to live under compost and things like that. So leaf debris. They're not really house roaches, but they're just kind of
No,
so
palmetto
big.
bugs.
Palmetto bugs. There you go. Third man. You got agreement. It's turning into a bogey.
That's
Bogey
not a
chat.
bogey movie.
Okay, I don't know.
That's an Orson Welles
That's Orson
movie.
Welles. That's
Uh-huh.
right. I don't know my film noir very well. I know some. And yes, the movies that we sent you to catch up on. See, okay, so Gina likes sci-fi and a horror.
A what?
I like sci-fi and horror.
Horror.
I said horror.
Okay, it sort of sounded like you were saying something, another word without.
I'm saying
other
it the
R.
way we say it in Pittsburgh.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
So
She's saying horror.
I'm saying horror.
Just
Horror.
horror.
Anyway, yeah, so I'm
2
into
syllables, not 1.
anything that's creepy, spooky, bloody, gory, gross, scary.
Oh, and it doesn't have to even be good.
It doesn't even have to be good.
No.
Good old B horror flicks, man, I'm all into that. So, and some sci-fi, fantasy films, Lord of the Rings stuff. Those are the type of movies I like to watch. So, you know, I recommended a couple of movies that I thought that they should see. Now, one of them is a comedy, which I absolutely love to death. It is The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Love that movie. And then the other one I recommended to them was Nope. And I thought Nope was going to be about UFOs.
Nope.
It is not.
Shut up.
And that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. It is not about UFOs. Kind of flipped the tables
Yes,
on
it
that
did.
one a little bit. I also watched that movie Megan, which has hit the internet by storm. I actually liked the movie, but I thought the ending was very rushed. It was very abrupt and it was rushed. And I thought it deserved a better ending than what it got. So, 8 boxes of VHS and beta. Oh my goodness.
Got no way to watch them, bud.
You know, actually we do, because I did keep one VHS player because I have software that will convert VHS to digital, and I have home movies that I needed to convert, and I kept those home movies.
That's understandable.
And eventually we'll have to convert them, so you got to have something to play them on, right? Just saying. House of 1,000 Corpses, as long as it is not the remake. I can't. Rob Zombie movies, I can't watch them. I can't watch them, guys. And it's like Rob Zombie's out there just to make something as gross as he possibly can. I don't get it. Why? I don't get it.
Because you can't.
I prefer the originals to the Rob Zombie remakes, frankly.
Give me John Carpenter any day.
You know, yeah.
I mean, where the perceived fear is greater than what you see.
I mean, I will sit there and watch
That's what
some of the worst movies ever made, like
Duh.
Manos, Hands of Death.
We sat and watched 420 Massacre.
420 Massacre, where a bunch of people.
One of the worst movies ever made.
It was like a train wreck, and we kept watching it.
Not once, but it came on and we had to watch it again just to
we
go.
were just like, really? How can
Really?
this be?
Can this movie be this bad? And guess
Yes,
what?
it
It was
was.
as bad the second time as it was the first.
Remember when they used to have Mystery Science Theater 3000? And these guys would basically like just make fun of whatever movie they were watching.
That was one that was made for them.
You know, there is actually a movie. Gosh, I wish I could remember what it was called, but it involved. It's black and white, and this girl is divining, where they use the stick to find water, type thing.
It's divining rod.
Divining rod, right?
Yes.
She's doing that, and she comes across a box that contains the head of a witch, a warlock that had been killed in the 1600s or something. And he wants people to find his body so they can put his head back on his body and he can take over the world or whatever, right? So he bewitches everybody who looks at his face. That movie is so bad, but I love that movie. And then there's one called Terror Train, which I think was like a Peter Cushing sci-fi. It's in color, where there's like this Yeti-like creature, and when it looks at you, it turns your eyeballs white and your brain boils, and it steals all your memories and stuff. This is the type of stuff I love to watch.
And you're busting on me on my film
I
noir.
love to watch this junk. Yes, I'm a sci-fi, horror, zombie, ghost, creepy trilogy of terror.
Yeah, I know. Trust me.
Puppet Master.
I've seen your movies.
Oh, they're so bad. They're so bad. Let's see what we got here. Merriam-Webster English Spanish Visual Dictionary. I'm going to look that up. Hey, here, honey. Joseph Cotton movies.
Damn Skippy.
There you
Man
go.
was a good actor.
Thank you, Arlene, the original. Thank you. Yes.
Always the original.
Couple other movies I would recommend. Oh wait, I think I did tell you, The Witch, and it's spelled VVITCH, The Witch. Also, if you have not seen it, Midsummer. Very, 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 ooh, gets under your skin type movie. Basically about a cult. So let's see here. Great old war movie, Foreign Affair.
Yep.
Well, I remember that movie.
Yep.
I've seen that one. And horror movies and vinyl. Oh, yes, we would be besties. Yes, we would. I could sit there all night long with a thing of popcorn, and I would probably squeeze more butter on that popcorn and just sit there all night and watch horror movies. Really bad horror movies. Awful ones.
Palmetto's coming.
Oh, hey there. I'm going to ride you home.
Hush, hush, sweet Charlotte.
Mark seems like a drunk. No, he's not.
Nope.
He's not. He does like to have some beer when we're doing these live streams.
Yep.
And he doesn't ever drink any other time.
Nope.
The only time he ever drinks is pretty much when we do a live stream or if we have company over, like a barbecue or something.
Or maybe an occasional one or two while I'm in the pool. But other than that, no.
I think when they do the draft.
Oh, well.
When they do the draft, you'll do.
The fantasy draft, yes. That's a.
Yeah, surprisingly, he really doesn't drink that much. Honestly, it's pretty good.
I have learned to control when it is time to howl at the moon. But when it is time to howl at the moon, I can do it with the best of them.
You know what? And I would not tolerate him as a drunk because I had a very, very I had issues growing up with people who were alcoholics, and I don't care to be around people who are drunk all the time. So it's bothersome. It bugs me a lot. So let's see. Did we see this? Hush, hush.
Yes.
Oh, we did.
Great
I'm so
movie.
sorry. I'm so sorry. I skipped it.
That's all right.
Twice is not nice. Oh, Identity. And let me see. The other movie that I think we discussed was Heredity. Or Hereditary. Heredity. I'll get back to you on that one. I'm thinking the name. Yes, thanks. See, she knows. She knows because she's been here. Yeah, he's not. He isn't. And I know, and that's one of the things when you do YouTube videos and when you're live streaming, you put yourself out there. People only see you. Well, yeah, that's what they see. So yeah, I get why people would think that. I understand why people would think that because when we do these live streams, well, he has a few beverages, but it's not every day. It's kind of when we're sitting here having these live streams.
And I'm not even close right now, so.
No, he's not. Yeah. Well, guys, oh my gosh. It's been 3 hours. It's been almost 3 hours. We probably should be wrapping this up pretty soon. Anyway, it's so true.
Well,
some of us wish we weren't, though.
Some of us don't act like adults, but that's because we choose not to. I mean, that's.
So I wanted to let you guys know tomorrow. Okay, this is what frustrated me about again my phone. I got this phone. USB mic, Rode mic, which I know works because I tested it today on a conference call with work. It's the phone. Something happened on Monday. The Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra pretty much would not work with most external mics, but it worked with a Rode mic, and it worked for 8 months. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of a recording on Monday, it stopped working.
It went.
It stopped working, and I have not been able to get it work since. So I don't know if something went bad in the USB connector because that it's one connector and it's for file sharing, it's for charging, and it was external mic and it no longer works. So I got to get creative with our syncing our voices because you guys you're not gonna be able to hear us talk real well with the echo in these old buildings. But I wanted to drop the video on Monday night, and we had that issue. Tuesday, I was fighting it still. Couldn't drop the video Tuesday. Didn't want to do it today because of the live stream. But tomorrow, I'm dropping a trifecta. At 4:00, we're dropping a video on a tour that we took of the Convento de San Bernardino de Siena in Valladolid. It's a very significant structure, fortress, convent. It's been a prison. It's a big, I don't even know, like 2-foot thick walls. It's incredible. It's very sparse inside, but it's got a great history. That's the tour video. And in addition to that, I'm also dropping 2 video mapping program videos. In the evenings at this convent, they will show a 20-minute history of the Yucatan and Valladolid video map on the walls of this convent.
Mm-hmm.
They do a show in Spanish, and then about 5 minutes after that, they do a show in English.
Yep.
So I recorded both shows in their entirety, and all 3 of them are going to drop tomorrow. So check that out if you have interest in either seeing what the show might look like. It's pretty cool. I'm not really sure how great the quality of the show itself is going to be since I was recording it with the cell phone. But I did try to keep the cell phone very still. And the sound is there, and I had it translated, hopefully correctly, on YouTube. You know, like I said, YouTube doesn't always get things right. But
the best part actually was the people that showed up really gave us an inkling of how much tourism there is in the Valladolid area, because you would not think that there would be a lot of locals would show up. But the Spanish version had a ton of people who showed up to watch this, when we made the assumption, right or wrong, that they are people from other parts of Mexico who are, you know, coming to Riviera Maya or Valladolid to see the sites and historical data that's out there, and chose to spend the 30 minutes there to watch it. So it was really sort of eye-opening to go, you know what? They get a lot of tourism, not only from outside the country, they get a lot of tourism from inside the country. For sure. So, yes, girl, you know, 3 hours. I looked down and went, you got to be kidding me. I didn't think it was that long. And I almost feel bad sometimes that we do them for this long, because I know that after this is over, how many people are going to go and watch this for 3 solid hours? If they're choosing to do it,
it's
whatever.
Cool. But that's fine. We enjoy spending time with you guys, so that's great. And yes, we are enjoying our life. Thank you.
Yes,
we are.
We're
having a good time here. Hey, thank you, Wilfredo.
Thank you, Wilfredo.
Yes, and hey, you were right past the garage there. That was a great spot. And we were right there across the street from Cenote Zaki and the restaurant, right down to the Mercado, right up to Centro. It was a really good spot.
So you walk right down Pollo Road, as we called it.
Pollo Road.
God, the chicken there was to die for.
It was. All right, guys. We're going to see you. We're going to call it a night. It's been long enough. Thank you so much for tuning in.
2 weeks, we'll do it again.
Yes, we will. Have a great evening. And we look forward to talking to you guys again in a couple of weeks. Have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Oh, we love you too. Thank you.